Ball. This broadcast of Yo Football is brought to you in part by Cameron Autoplex, your Chrysler Dodge Jeep dealer, Ebco Development, by Melanie Romine, your Edward Jones representative, Buckholz State Bank in Cameron, Buckholz, and Rogers, by Budget Host Inn and Suites, Cox's Heating and Air Conditioning, by Syntex Auto in Temple, Just Chiropractic of Temple, Denios Furniture, Flooring, and Fireplaces, by Citizens National Bank, Cameron Farm and Ranch Company, by Milam County Livestock Auction in Cameron, Temple Heat and Air, by Lisa Roden, your Germania Insurance Agent, Caliber Metal of Cameron, by Central Avenue Bistro in Cameron, Legacy Nursing and Rehabilitation, and by Standards Home Health. And now, it's game time with Brett Everhart and Kenny Driska.
Cameron Yoe football team had an up-and-down season opener a week ago, but ultimately came out victorious, and they're going to need to avoid a slow start tonight against a very experienced opponent. Good evening, everybody. We're joining you just a little bit later than expected. A lightning delay has pushed our kickoff back until 8 o'clock, but I'm Brett Everhart, and I'm alongside Kenny Driska here tonight as Cameron prepares for a battle against 4A Bellville. Kickoff again right around the corner. We're right here at Yoe Field, and during our pregame show, we're going to hear from head coach of the Cameron Yeomen, Tommy Brashear. We're also going to find out what's next for the Yeomen. We're back in a moment.
Let your house welcome you home with a perfect temperature. The iComfort Wi-Fi thermostat from Lennox features remote control access so you can adjust your home's temperature from anywhere. That makes it the perfect complement to a Lennox home comfort system. Right now, Cox's Heating and AC is offering up to $1,600 in rebates on a new system, or enjoy no payments for the first 3 months when you finance a new Lennox system for as little as $116 a month. So make yourself comfortable. Call Cox's Heating and AC, 254-697-4252. Terms and conditions apply. See dealer for details. License number TACL B009432E.
If your saving for retirement strategy involves the phrase, "I'll get around to it someday," we need to talk. Hi, I'm Edward Jones financial advisor, Melanie Romine. When it comes to meeting your goals, time can be on your side, and there's no better time than now to get started towards your retirement goals. Stop by our office at 315 South Houston here in Cameron. Edward Jones, Making Sense of Investing, member SIPC.
Radio football coverage continues here on KMIL 105.1 The Ranch. It's another football Friday in Texas and Cameron, getting ready to enjoy the night at home as they welcome Bellville to Yoe Field. Normally, of course, you would expect a raucous crowd, and looking around, we are about 40% capacity, I would guess, especially for a home opener and for Cameron Yoe football games. That's the norm, right? Raucous crowds. But COVID-19's kind of disrupted that, and well, most plans moving forward. So, Kenny, what do you expect out of the crowd tonight?
Well, I mean, I think the people that'll be here will be into the ball game and rooting the yeomen on, and it's just we're unfortunately we're limited in how many people can be here.
I know. So we got to hope that the band's going to be loud, right?
Yeah, exactly. And Yeoman Band always does a great job supporting the football team, and always sounds great. And of course those Yeoman Band parents are here too in the bleachers.
No, we're excited to see that there are actually fans in the stands here today. Of course, you never know what you're going to expect week in and week out with COVID-19 going on. It's been an issue lately in Central Texas too. Of course, Cameron's next opponent, the Franklin Lions, are also dealing with an outbreak themselves and are expected to be cleared, though, before next week's game. So the question to you is, how do you feel that can disrupt the squad?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that it really has any effect on us. We're not delayed. We didn't have to miss our game tonight.
Mm-hmm.
They had to cancel their game with Hearn tonight, and so it's definitely football players and football coaches are very habitual in what they do. It's very, very much a routine, very much. You do the same thing, same type of things on Mondays and Tuesdays and Wednesdays, preparing, for your game on Friday. And then when all of a sudden you don't have one on Friday, it throws everything in a little bit of a funk, Next week, for everybody is a holiday. Monday is Labor Day holiday. And so, practice is going to be a little bit different for everybody in the state that's able to play next week, And so that's going to throw everybody a little bit off. People and coaches, we get agitated about those kind of things. We like normalcy. We like routine, and so it'll be interesting to see. Coaches, I've heard old coaches say that you make your most improvement between your first and your second game. Well, Franklin's not getting their second game.
Right.
So, what is that going to look like for them? Who knows?
So, I guess, does it change your mindset at all if you're Cameron, if you're Franklin, if you're having to deal with this stuff? I mean, this could have implications far down the road still. I mean, it's not like it's going to go away overnight.
No, it's not. I mean, we probably won't have any we won't have any week 2 film of them to prepare. We can't go scout them tonight because they're not playing. I don't know if they have scouts here tonight or not. But I'm sure we won't trade game 2 film with them. We'll probably offer them our game 1 film for their game 1 film, so that we feel like we're getting apples to apples. When we're trading film to prepare and stuff there. So they're going to be a little bit behind on what they see us actually do. Because I'm sure we put in some new stuff this week, made some adjustments, and learned from some of the mistakes we made last week. So you've got all that right there too.
Well, tonight, Cameron's going to see a squad that they have kind of seen often at pre-district over the last few years. That is Bellville. So the Brahmas are a seasoned, veteran-heavy team this year. Offensively, we've seen this kind of offense before in the form of the slot team, but this is not your granddaddy's slot team. This is a team that's going to be very, very different. Let's hear from head coach Tommy Brashear.
Belleville's a very good football team. We've got a lot of kids back, 7 returners on the offensive side of the ball. They run the slot T offense just like Mejia did, except they don't run it just like Mejia did. Mejia had only been running it for a few months. These guys have been running it their whole life from the time they were in 7th grade, or maybe even before. But they based out the slot T, but they've kind of evolved, and they've become a little more multiple. They'll get a lot more one-back sets. They'll even get in some shotgun, quarterback in the shotgun in some sets. But their bread and butter is still that slot T offense. And, and the films we've got on them, they're about 70% run and 30% pass, so they throw it a little bit more than your normal slot T team also. But their running back, number 10, real good player for him, had over 2,000 yards rushing last year and 21 touchdowns. Very fast guy, kind of elusive, kind of running back. Number 5, Briggs is his last name. He's a slot wide receiver, but they also split him out. They kind of move him all over the place, trying to get him the ball. Favorite target in the passing game. He had over 800 yards rushing last year and 7 touchdowns, and had about 300 yards receiving and 5 touchdowns last year. Against Giddings the other night, he made a big catch over a couple Giddings defenders on a 4th and play, and scored a touchdown on it. So he's a threat we definitely got to keep an eye on. The other guy I like to throw to in the passing game is number 6, their tight end. They like to throw it to him on tight end seams, vertical stuff down the field a lot to him. The quarterback does a great job for him, Lishka. He's number 2. He runs that offense very well, and he's a very accurate passer whenever they do drop back and pass it. And I think he had around 700 yards passing and 9 touchdowns last year in the passing game. And it looks to me like they're even a little better in that this year. I know I'm talking a lot about the passing game on the slot T offense, but it's because they throw it more than your average slot T offense. And but they're dangerous. I mean, they're very dangerous. Best linemen are 2 guys, both their tackles, number 70 and number 58. Their offensive tackles, probably their best O linemen, both very physical. They like to do we call it Tom, which is tackle over for us. It's our football terminology for that's Tom. Move that number 70 over there by 58, or they'll do it the other way too. They'll move 58 over by 70, get their 2 best physical blockers together and try and run behind those guys. So, they're a very formidable, very good football team.
All right, Kenna, you heard him. That was Tommy Brashear, and he says this is a slot T team, but this is a team that's going to throw the football, which is unheard of.
Yeah, it's not your normal slot T. I always like to say, true slot T teams, they like to throw the ball one pass per quarter, whether they need to or not. And these guys, they don't mind dropping back and throwing the ball a little bit, and they're effective at it. I know that one of their coaches is a Cameron Yoe graduate, Ty Moore, who was on the 2011 team that went to the state finals. Was a really good wide receiver for them there. I don't know if his influence on the coaching staff there has led them to throwing the ball, putting it in the air a little bit more. We've been successful against Belleville the last 10 years or so. Anytime we've played them, I'm not sure I can recall a time where they beat us. And over those years, they've also been a strong playoff team in 4A, typically go about 3 rounds deep. So, I don't know if they're looking at the fact that, okay, if we're going to get to past that hump of that 3rd round, maybe we need to be able to be a little more multiple on offense as well, and so those are just kind of some thoughts, some theories I have about it, but who really knows?
I know, it seems like one of those things that passing, slot T, they don't go together, and yet here we are.
Yeah, it's definitely not something you expect to see. But, the one thing about it is good slot T teams, good wing T teams, those teams that run those type of offenses, those run-heavy offenses, when they do throw the ball, they can be very, very effective because, they get those secondary guys, giving that run support and peeking into the backfield, and they run everything, they'll run that play-action stuff where linemen will still false pull and things like that, and those tight ends, like Coach Brashear was talking about how they like to run that tight end on a seam route. Those guys will block for a 3 or 4 count and then take off up straight up the field, and they're behind you before you know it because you see them blocked down, and so they your linebackers or safeties that are responsible for them, they cheat in and they try to come in and provide that run support, and next thing you know, that tight end is behind them on a seam route, and you get 3 or 4 steps on somebody, you don't have to be too fast to be able to outrun them.
All right, defensively, Belleville is stout as well, and I believe there are 8 returning starters back on that side. Experience counts for a lot. How does that help?
Yeah, I think just watching them on film, I think they're a very good team, very good offensively, very good defensively. They're a very disciplined team in everything that they do. I think, they're very well coached. They play, good assignment football defensively, and so they're really good on that side of the ball as well.
Let's hear what Coach Brashear has to say.
Well, they base out of a 4-3 defense. They play a cover 4 in the back end, trying to not make sure they don't give up the big play. They are some cover 3, like when we get in our trips, 3 wide receiver set, they'll go some cover 3 to that. But, how they play their outside linebackers tonight will be kind of a determining factor. How loose they are, how wide they are, that opens up the run game. But they usually like to keep them in there as much as they can. So if that's the case, then we need to be able to throw the ball. So, again, weather could play a factor in all that. So, we'll have to see. But they've got 8 returners on that side of the ball. Number 53 plays DN for them. Pretty good, pretty physical player for them there. Number 52, probably their best defensive lineman, plays defensive tackles, Powell. He made a lot of plays, a lot of tackles last week. I had to believe he had to be their leading tackler last week in that game against Giddings. Number 5, the guy that also was their slot receiver, Briggs. He plays corner. He had 4 interceptions last year. A very athletic, very physical player. Plays both ways. Number 24, linebackers, their leading tackler. He's back from last year. Also, last name's Babylon. Good nose for the ball. Gets to that ball, reads his keys really well. He had about 150 tackles last year for them. And then their safety, number 1, is a senior. He's kind of the leader of the secondary. His last name Green does a good job for him back there as well. So, but 8 returning starters over there. I mean, they're pretty good, so we're going to have our work cut out for us tonight with a young team. So I'm looking forward to it. I want to see how we respond and how we do against a well-oiled, experienced team.
Sounds like linebackers are the key to the defense for Belleville.
Yeah, those guys do a great job of, again, playing their assignment. Of course, those guys in front of them in their assignment, so that those guys can float to the ball. They're going to fill their gaps. The linebackers are, and they're whenever they come.
Well, we've been breaking down the Belleville Brahmas ahead of tonight's home opener here at Yoe Field. We'll take another break, and then we're going to talk about the weather moving forward. We're headed towards a later kickoff thanks to the weather. It's all coming up next.
Power. Power is being behind the wheel of a Ram 3500 with 1,000 pounds per foot of torque. Power is a 12-inch touchscreen and 395 horsepower Hemi V8. Ram Power Days are going on now at Cameron Autoplex in Cameron, Texas. If you count on your truck, then you can count on Cameron Autoplex to deliver the right truck for you. We have the selection and the pricing our customers deserve. We are your Central Texas Truck Authority. Shop in person or online at CameronAutoplex.com. And remember, it's always cheaper in Cameron.
Discover the many services that Standards Home Health can provide for you or a loved one in need of in-home health care, like skilled nursing care, home health aides, cardiac recovery, pulmonary recovery, physical therapy, speech therapy, and occupational therapy services. And for those difficult times, they provide compassionate hospice care. Standards Home Health, raising the standards for in-home health care in the state of Texas. Call today for a free in-home consultation. 1-888-671-7007.
Welcome back here on KMIL this evening as we head towards the Yoe home opener. A little bit delayed due to weather, which we're actually going to be talking about right now. Weather, of course, could play a factor tonight here, Kenny. We've already seen a ton of rain lately. In fact, had an inch and a half already today. We've had a lightning delay in this game, which hasn't even started yet, and so it's pushed us back to an 8 o'clock start. But weather can be a factor in football games. We know this. The good news is you're playing on the nice clean turf of Cameron Yoe Field, which should help a little bit at least. The drainage is always perfect here. That said, if it does start to pour during our game, how does that affect what these two teams are trying to do, or does it?
Well, it can affect each team differently, because that's one of the things with that slot T offense, mesh points of handoffs are very vital. And so, if the ball gets slippery, it could affect that. It could cause them to put the ball on the carpet a little bit. Of course, we'd like to throw the ball a lot more than they do. And throwing the ball in the rain and wet ball and catching a wet ball sometimes can be difficult, so it could affect both teams maybe differently, I've heard old coaches say, that they think that the defense is at a disadvantage, though, whenever it comes to playing in the rain, because the offense knows what they're going to do and the defense is reacting, and so if you're on offense, you know when you're going to plant. Defender doesn't really know. They're reacting and planning, and so they may slip more. But again, almost everybody we play now, including ourselves, has synthetic turf, and so most of the time, unless you just have a driving rainstorm during play, just looking out on the field right now, it looks perfect right now, and watching the Yeomen and the Brahmas warm up, I didn't see anybody having any issues with the turf out there. So as long as we don't have rain during the game, I think we'll be fine.
Well, let's get to the keys. Tonight's keys to the game are brought to you by Mark Burns Latewell Funeral Home, serving Central Texas families since 1908. What are our 3 keys to the game?
Yeah, I think the first one is we have to do a better job of taking care of the ball on offense this week. We had a few turnovers last week, where we might have scored a couple more touchdowns and won the game a little more easily. In doing that, I think if we get the ball in our playmakers' hands, I think we'll be fine. Guys like Spikes and Hemphill and some of those guys. And then our defense, man, for a group so sophomore laden last week, really stepped up and really played well. And I talked about it last week, and I'm going to say it again. I think our front seven has a chance to be a really good unit for our defense this week. And so them continuing to play assignment football against this team, like the slot T again this week, and playing reading their keys and playing their assignment and not playing cowboy football. And then, what we just talked about too, if it does start to rain or if we have some inclement weather, being able to handle that inclement weather.
And a little adversity.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's what I want to see here tonight. I thought the Yeomen responded to that well last week. You got up with a big lead, 21 to 3, I think it was, when you went into halftime and tried to kind of coast for the second half. And this is a squad that kind of had to face some adversity, almost let Mejia back in a football game. Yeah,
no doubt about it. And this Bellville team, they're a very good team. Like I said, they typically go about 3 rounds deep in the playoffs. They've got a lot of guys back off of a team last year that was, went deep into the playoffs, several rounds. Guys are returning that have, a lot of yards and a lot of experience, and look for them to be very well prepared tonight coming into this game.
I do believe here in just a moment we'll have our national anthem here. Actually, that may be the cue to run onto the field first. I saw the band getting ready to play. I believe that's the cue to run onto the field. So instead, we'll go to our starting lineup tonight, sponsored by Barrel Bump Smokers, specializing in ugly drum style smokers. You can find them on Facebook to get more information. And the good folks at Barrel Bump Smokers. Let's get to your starting lineup on offense. Nolan Brashear is at wide receiver, as is Corian Spikes. Randy Flores and Casey Goolsby on the offensive line. At right guard, Colby Carranza. At right tackle, Cash Gelder. Center, Hunter Hawks. Left guard is Garfield England. The left tackle, Colby Arney. Quarterback is Zane Zeinert. Running back is Fabian Bynum. On the defensive The 5 technique, Trenton Nix. The nose guard, Eduardo Gill. 4 technique is Keyshawn Johnson. The linebackers, Armando Reyes, Colton Barbo, Fabian Solomon, and Landon Green. The quarterbacks are Zachorian Spikes and Farrell Hemphill. The safety, Fabian Bynum, and the rover is Dylan Aiken. There's your Barrel Bums Smokers starting lineup here tonight. Interesting one is going to be the quarterback, Zane Zeidert. Of course, talking to Coach Tommy Brashear this morning, said kind of dealing with a little bit of an issue, injury issue, but said he was going to be a game-time decision. We saw him warming up, so I think that's what we're going to see. He's on the starting lineup.
Yeah, he's listed on the starting lineup. Obviously, he came out for a couple plays last week when he got banged up a little bit, and the sophomore went in and did a good job, taking care of the football for the Yeomen. But that's not a position we want to put our sophomore in, is having to lead the Yeomen on the field. And so, we got Zane out there ready to go tonight, I think. And I know, Coach Brashear said it would be a game-time decision, but I don't think it really was. I think, the plan all along was to make sure Zane was ready and healthy and do anything we needed to do to make sure he was healthy for the ball game tonight.
All right, just a couple or 3 minutes here until we are ready for game time. Again, a little bit of a delay. Had a lightning delay earlier this evening, so we're looking at more like an 8 o'clock start. That is about 3 minutes or so from now. Game day captains for the Yeomen are Snyder, Garfield England, and Eduardo Gill. The actual senior captain, who is the one who will make the choice at coin toss at midfield, will actually be senior Randy Flores, wearing number 10 for the Yeomen. Tell you what, let's take a 60-second break. We'll come back in just a moment. Should be right around the corner from kickoff here at Yoe Field. You're listening to Yoe Football on 105 on The Ranch.
You've been doing something that satisfied customers since 1984. You've been doing something right. I'm Jason Donalik, and that's the story of Edco Development, providing quality new construction, remodeling, and roofing with complete customer satisfaction. We have the knowledge and experience to get the job done right the first time, and are a proud member of the Better Business Bureau. Start your building project by calling Edco Development at 254-697-2186. That's 254-697-2186.
This is Brad Vosselin with Cameron Farm and Ranch Company. We realize firsthand all the hard work and dedication that all high school students put in to perform their best on game day. We also know how hard producers work to keep their livestock and crops performing at their best. Stop in and we'll find the tools you need to keep your animals in shape and performing well. At Cameron Farm and Ranch, we're in the game on 4th and inches. And around here, when we say go yo, we mean
go yo!
All right, welcome back here at Yoe Field as we are preparing for the home opener here at Yoe Field, and it is going to be a good one here tonight. As Cameron coming in at 1-0, taking on a 1-0 Belleville Brahmas team, who also is unbeaten here in the early part of 2020, and now getting ready for our national anthem. So we will hear from the award-winning Yoe High School Band here tonight. There you go. There's your award-winning Yoe High School Band as they perform the national anthem here this evening, and always a treat to get a chance to listen to those folks, because boy, can they do some playing on those instruments over there. And I do believe we're going to get performance at halftime, so that'll be fun as, again, COVID has kind of messed everything up. But we're headed towards our coin toss here in just a moment. Our coin toss is going to be brought to you by Juana's Mexican Restaurant in Cameron. By the way, I also want to welcome everyone that is listening in on the internet at KMIL.com and also joining us on our video feed as provided by Kelvin Kelm, the folks at SportPixUSA.net as well. And meanwhile, real happy to have you guys aboard as coin toss taking place at midfield. Get ready. Flores is your captain for the Yeoman. Single captains here due to COVID-19 restrictions. Looks like they have deferred as Bellville. Waiting to see what the choice is.
I'm sure the Yeoman will take the ball here.
Referees and umpires deciding, making sure they are understood. And the Yeoman will be receiving. And so that is your coin toss. Brought to you by Juana's Mexican Restaurant. The Yeoman will have the football first as we get ready for Game 2 of the 2020 season. Yeoman will have the football as they take on 4A Belleville. Yeoman coming in here tonight with the white pants, maroon jerseys with white numbers and white helmets. Belleville in solid white. Stripes and red numbers. What's going to turn out to be a little bit of a humid, but should be a fairly cool night, I think.
Yeah, absolutely great temperature-wise here for the ball game tonight. If the moisture will just stay up in the clouds and not fall down on us.
We'll see. I know there is a small chance that we see some showers here tonight, but most of that, I think, is already come and gone. Again, 1.5 inches here today. Getting ready for our first kick. The Yeoman will be teeing this one up. Or, excuse me, Belleville will be teeing this one up. I'm getting ahead of myself here. Getting ready to kick off to the Yeoman, who will be ready to receive.
Be interesting to see if Belleville will kick it deep to the Yeoman here. I'm sure they know about our kickoff return abilities.
There are two back for the Yeoman, standing about their own 10-yard line. Belleville will tee it up at the 40. And we are getting ready for Game 2 of the year. Belleville to kick it. And it will be a pooch kick. That'll be fielded at the 30-yard line. Trying to cut upfield, up across the 35, and then swallowed up by the Belleville defense. They got him at the 32, maybe the 33-yard line.
I think that's Fabian Solomon on the return there. Did a good job, like I mentioned there before the kick. They did kind of employ a bit of an angle kick there. They didn't want to kick it back to our speedsters in the back, but Fabian did a good job of securing the ball and getting a couple more yards to set the over offense up coming out here.
An opening kickoff, by the way, brought to you by A&R Cattle Company in Burlington. Yeoman now on the offense. They're moving from left to right across the radio dial. Yeoman coming out in the shotgun. Two receivers off to the right side for Zeinert. One to the left. He's looking to throw. He's going to throw it out to the flat. That ball's dropped and incomplete.
It was intended for the freshman, number 9, Kaysen Goolsby, there on the little swing pass. Zane just threw a little bit low there. Kaysen wasn't able to haul it in.
Second down and 10 for the Yoe offense. 11:51 on the clock here in our first quarter. And tonight's first quarter is brought to you by Rafter P Trucking. Rafter P Trucking bringing you this first quarter presentation. A twin back set, flanked on either side of Zeinert. Two receivers off to his left. He's looking to throw. Now scrambling off to his right. Tries to step up in the pocket, gets hit, and then spun around, and he's going to be dropped for a loss of about a yard.
And our viewers that are watching the video feed can tell that appeared to be a busted play there. One of the running backs backfield must have went the wrong way there, because I don't think that's the way that play was designed to be run.
So 11.5 minutes and counting down here in this Rafter P Trucking first quarter. A scoreless ball game. The Yeoman have the football on 3rd and 11. And the Belleville Brahmas have got plenty of size on the line defensively. A three-receiver set off to the left side for Zeinert. Looking to throw that direction, and it's going to be tipped in and incomplete. And that ball had eyes on it for Belleville.
Yeah, it was intended for Randy Flores, the senior game day captain there, but was lucky that the linebacker wasn't able to pull it in there, because he sure got his paws on it.
So that forces a punting situation for the Yeoman. It'll be 4th down on their first possession. Zeinert will have to punt it. Just about 11 minutes to go here in the quarter. As Zeinert's punt is a good one. 2 men back for Belleville. That's going to bounce to the 30. Takes a yeoman bounce inside the 20. He's going to be scooped up at about the 12. And now he's looking to run across the 10-yard line, the 15 to 20. Got some blocking in front of him as across the 25 to 30. And then he'll finally almost be slowed down and eventually wrestled down inside the 30-yard line.
Outstanding job of tracking down that ball and getting it and getting some yards back there by the Brahma return man. Is a penalty on the play, though. Assume, either a hold or a block in the back on a play like that.
So that was about a 20-yard return, but I think he ran about 50 yards to get it.
I was about to say he ran about 80 because 50 across the field, another 20 backwards, and another 20 up the field after he got it.
Waiting on the call on that flag. The referees are huddled at about the 35-yard line of Belleville. Flag sitting at about the 24. Now going over to, looks like discuss that with Belleville.
The side judge that came over to our sideline spoke to Coach Brashear and kind of pointed to the Brahma side of the line of scrimmage, though. So I'm a little confused as to what may be going on here. I think Coach Rowe over there from Belleville may just be pleading his case that he disagrees with the call.
And now they're backing everybody up. Are we going to punt it again?
Are we going to repunt?
I think there may be a repunt coming. Sure looks like it. I haven't seen it.
Block in the back. Personal foul, face mask against Yeoman.
There you go.
There you go. Blocking the back against Belleville and a face mask against the Yeoman.
So,
offsetting penalties and replay the down, I guess.
I guess so. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to punt it again. 10:51 on the clock. Yeoman preparing to punt yet again. So Zeinert standing at his 20-yard line. 2 men standing about the 30 for Belleville. A good snap. And Zeinert gets it away. This is a line drive punt. That is going to be fielded at the 30-yard line. Working his way up the right side of the field and dragged down at the 40. And that's where Belleville will pick things up. With 10.
Nice job by Armando Reyes there on the tackle.
10:42 on the clock. Here in this Rafter P Trucking first quarter. And Belleville will have their first look on offense from their own 41-yard line. Scoreless ball game as the Brahmas get ready to go, and that is a big man at center.
Yes, it is.
Rushing to the line and under center. Trying to hand off up the middle and just bull rushing his way for about 7 yards on that carry. Incredible strength.
Quick trap play right up the center there, and they're going to go no huddle, quick play.
No huddle it is. This time we're going to try the trap again. This trying to come around that left side, and he might have got almost to the line he needed to get. Just across the 50-yard line anyway to the 49, and it's just enough for a first down. So first down, Belleville.
That's one of those things where they had 2 plays called in the huddle the previous play, and we're going to run that second play immediately no matter what happened on the first one.
Coming up on 10 minutes to go in the Rafter P Trucking first quarter. Belleville with the football on the move at the 49-yard line, moving from right to left on the radio dial. Quarterback hands it off. He's coming around the left side, got some room across the 40 to 30, the 20. This one man to beat, and he is going to be pushed into the end zone. Touchdown, Belleville.
And again, it's a trap play up the middle there, and that action is occurring so quickly there that it's hard for our young linebackers to be able to make their reads.
So that is a 49-yard carry for Belleville for the 6 points tonight. They have the first lead of the ball game, 6-0. 9:44 on the clock, an extra point now coming up for the Brahmas. Out in front, 6-0. There's the snap, the hold, and the kick is a high one. That will be through the uprights, though, and it's a 7-0 ball game here in Yoe Field. 9:44 on the clock. Belleville in front, 7-0. You're listening to Yoe Football on 105 on the Ranch.
A night under the stars in Huge Lead Oaks. craft beers and award-winning wines, or casual dining in a beautifully restored historic home for upscale food. But wait, what if you could have both? You can at Central Avenue Bistro in the historic Lawrence Hubert House at 312 North Central Avenue in Cameron. Come see what is new and old all over again. Patio or inside dining for dinner Thursday through Saturday, 5 to 10 p.m. For info or to schedule a private party, call 254-627-0083 or check their Facebook page.
Welcome back to Yoe Field, where the Yeomen now trailing 7-0 here in the first quarter. Brought to you by Raptor P Trucking. 9:44 on the clock. The Yeomen will get their second look on offense. Richard Reese going 49 yards for Bellville to give the Brahmas the early lead in this one. Home opener for Cameron, as the Brahmas come out to kick here following the touchdown. The defense will have to buckle down in this one because Belleville plenty big on the line, and this is going to be a deep kick backing up the receiver to the 10-yard line. That is going to be now brought upfield to the 15, tries to backstep or two, and then he's going to be 15-yard line, but they're going to give him forward progress to the 18.
Yeah, Hemphill was able to receive the kick there and did the fake handoff to Spikes like we normally do there, but did not fool the Brahmas. Those guys did a great job of staying in their lanes and forcing him back to where the help was from the inside.
So 9:38 on the clock. Belleville out in front 7-0. The Yeomen inside their own 20-yard line. First and 10 for Cameron. Zeinert at quarterback. He's got 3 receivers off to his left. There's none to the right.
Yeah, a little different formation for the Yeomen here with a tight end on the right side of the line of scrimmage.
Looking to throw. It's going to be a quick throw. That is going to be incomplete. That ball was dropped. That is picked up by Belleville. He tried to take it into the end zone, but whistles are blowing this play dead.
Yeah, just a little quick hitter to Spikes out in the flats there. Wasn't able to haul it in, and Coach Rowe was imploring with the officials, saying there was a backwards pass, but the officials ruled that it was forward and down.
So after the incomplete, second down and 10, 9:36 now on the clock. A full wide receiver set for Zeinert, 2 to each side. One man in the backfield. They're going to hand it off, and coming around bouncing around the right side across the 20, the 30, and then finally brought down out of bounds, and a nice run there by Fabian Bynum.
Yeah, great job there by Fabian Bynum getting behind his pull-in blocker there, pulled the left side tackle around the right end, and was able to kick out and make a nice little seam for Fabian to get up into there.
That's a Centex Auto first down. They buy here, pay here dealer with easy financing terms and excellent service. Yeomen have the football at their own 36 now. First and 10. Twin receivers to each side again for Zeinert here. One man in the backfield. As Zeinert looks to throw, comes to the quick hitch to the receiver, and he's going to be breaking through a tackle up across midfield. Now he's got nobody in front of him. The 30, the 20, the 10, 5. Touchdowns, Aquarian Spikes.
Absolutely great execution on the tunnel screen there by the Yeomen. Get the ball to Zeinert out there, or to Spikes out there quickly, and able to get a couple blocks and spring him, and then he just used his speed to finish it on off.
By the way, there was a flag on the play, but that was against Belleville, and that obviously will be dismissed, and the Yeomen have answered quickly. Now trying for the Cryer Collision extra point. For all your auto body repair needs, that's Cryer Collision. Awaiting that extra point. And whistles will blow. That is going to be a penalty against Cameron. And on the extra point try, it's going to be backed up.
Legal procedure, I think some of our linemen must have jumped a little early there, leaned into his stance a little early.
Well, that makes the point after try just that much more difficult.
I think we've got an outstanding young kicker this year, though. It looked like it would have been good from another 10 yards from where he's sitting it now.
So they'll tee this one up at the 15 after the snap. There's the snap, the hold, the kick. It's up and is good. And we are tied up here in this Raptor P Trucking first quarter. 7-7, all knotted up with 8:57 to go here in the first quarter. You're listening to Yoe Football on 105 on the Ranch.
So you're feeling out of alignment. Don't ignore the signs and think maybe they'll go away. Head straight to Just Chiropractic in Temple and see Dr. Barbara Proctor. With over 20 years' experience, she'll get you adjusted and on your way with no hassles, contracts, or startup costs. Just Chiropractic is the home of the Affordable Adjustment, offering $20 spinal adjustments anytime. No appointments necessary and no insurance needed. It's Just Chiropractic, located at 1915 West Avenue in Mid-Temple, or call 254-791-5045.
All right, welcome back to Yoe Field. It is the home opener for the Cameron Yeomen as they have quickly struck back after a touchdown run by Bellville with a nice catch and run by Zachorian Spikes for 65 yards. And the Yeomen have tied this thing back up 7-7. Let's get to your scoring drive, brought to you by Don's Painted Body with more than 20 years experience. Taking the dents out of accidents. That's Don's Painted Body. 3 plays, 83 yards. The big one was the 65-yard catch and run by Zachorian Spikes. Don't forget Don's Painted Body, the good folks over there. The Unick family, of course, running that place, and just incredible people. Give them a call. 697-2011 is the number for Don's Painted Body. We're getting ready to kick off now here after the touchdown, and they will send this one away. This is going to be a short kick. That's fielded at the 23-yard line. That's now being brought upfield, up across the 30, looking for a hole in the middle of the field. Up across the 40 now, tries to jump over a man, and then finally brought down. And they will mark him at the 43-yard line.
Flag on the play. I don't see it. Oh, there it is. It looks like it's going to be offsides against the Yeomen.
Seeing multiple penalties here tonight, it feels like. Way more than we saw against Mejia.
Yeah, and of course I was absent for the first half of that ball game, so I didn't see the beginning of it. But really, we're really only at first game as far as number of being able to opponents and that kind of stuff, because we missed that second scrimmage. And so really, last week's game was like that second scrimmage. So you're at a point right now where you're like first game.
Well, after the 5-yard penalty is marked off against the Yeomen, it'll be Belleville football near midfield. They're going to have it at about the 47-yard line. And they got one man way over here to the left side, to the near side of the field. Now they're sending another one off that direction. Instead, it's going to be a handoff around the right side, and he's got a burst. It's going to be off to the races. The 20, the 10, shoved and into the end zone, or just shy. Nope, they will mark it as a touchdown. Touchdown, Belleville. The Brahmas on one play have responded right back.
So that kind of counter play where they pull a guy out there in front of the back, and I'll tell you, their backs are really, really good.
Just a little misdirection. They sent two men wide to the left and then went the other way with the handoff. Now you'll see an extra point try by Belleville. There's the snap. The kick is up. And that will go through to make it a 14-7 ball game with 8:39 on the clock here in the Rafter P. Trucking first quarter. Yeomen going to have to find some answers defensively right now, because it's been a quick couple of scores and long runs on a big play by Belleville. We're back in just a moment. You're listening to Yoe Football on 105 on the Ranch.
Our bank is rated one of the nation's strongest banks. It is rock solid. As a community bank, we're conservative. We're here to serve the local area. We don't make risky loans. We loan money to people we know. We maintain a strong capital to asset ratio at all times. Make the strong move. Bank with us. Citizens National Bank, member FDIC, rated one of the nation's strongest banks. Equal housing lender. All loans subject to credit approval.
Come back to Yoe Field. The Yeomen now trailing by a touchdown again. It's now 14-7 here in the first quarter. 8:39 on the clock. Again, our quarter brought to you by Rafter P. Trucking. That was number 5, Robert Briggs, who had the big 53-yard rumble and score for Belleville there to retake the lead for the Brahmas. Now getting ready to kick off here to the Yeomen.
Really impressed so far with the Belleville overall team speed on the offense.
Yeah, really surprising is what I would say is the correct word for it. Now Belleville going to kick this one off. It's going to be an angled kick to the far side of the field, far corner. That is going to be caught, and they're going to try the reverse here. And there were some whistles that sounded like they were blown, but everybody kind of came to a stop, and then all of a sudden they took off running again.
Yeah, they went with the angle kick deep again, and Hemphill received the kick, but he did hand it off to Spikes this time on the reverse up the Belleville sideline, which, typically when we run that reverse, whether we run the true reverse or the fake, we typically run it up our sideline. So I like that we ran it up their sideline. It keeps teams a little more honest.
So it'll be Yo football at their own 31-yard line. 8.5 minutes to go here in the Rafter P Trucking first quarter. That was just a strange play. Everybody just kind of stopped because it sounded like a whistle. And then all of a sudden, the man with the football busted out towards the Belleville sideline. Meanwhile, Yo football here. Again, 8.5 minutes to go. It's 3 receivers off to the left. Nobody on the near side of the field for Zidert, who takes off running. And he's going to pick up maybe 3 yards.
Yeah, he kind of rode the ball in the belly of his running back right there to kind of draw the linebackers to them, and then was able to make a nice little 3-yard gain up the middle.
Clock is continuing to run. Inside 8 minutes, 10 seconds to go here in the Rafter P Trucking first quarter. Yoma with the football, 2nd down and 7 after the 3-yard carry by Zidert. 3 receivers off to the left side, none off to the right for Zidert. There's one man in the backfield for him. He's going to try the quick hitch over to the left side. That is going to be blocked nicely before he trips, slips, and then is brought down. And that cost him, as he had open field in front before the slip, and he picked up only a yard.
Yeah, and I think that's about the 4th or the 5th pass attempt that Zinert's had, where we've just kind of thrown a quick hitter out into the flats. With guys like Hemphill and Spikes, I'd sure like to see us maybe try a deep one every now and then.
Clock inside 7.5 minutes here in the first quarter from Rafter P Trucking. Yeoman trailing by a touchdown. This time the Yeoman are going to a 4-wide receiver set, 2 to each side. Ball mark. Zidert. And now flags moving. Movement on the line, it sure looked like.
Yeah, the Brahma defense kind of shifted there when they did. Cash Gilner rocked out of his stance, and it's going to cost us another 5 yards here.
That will push the Yeoman back on 3rd down to a 3rd and 12. The Yeoman will stick with a 4-wide receiver set, 2 to each side. Zidert looking to throw. Looking, steps up in the pocket and lets one fly. And that ball picked off at midfield.
I think he actually dropped it. He was trying to hit Spikes deep, like I talked about just a minute ago. And I don't know, the ball didn't come out of Zane's hand very well there, and the free safety had a great chance to make an interception there, but just dropped it.
Yeah, could not hang on to the football, and so it will be a 4th down instead for the Yeoman. 7:07 on the clock after the incomplete. Yeoman got lucky there. Zidert back to punt from his own 18-yard line. Snap is good, and the punt is a high kick. That's a beauty of a punt. That'll be fielded, fair caught at the 35-yard line, and that's where Belleville will take over with 7:02 on the clock. That's a fairly nice punt.
That was an outstanding punt because he got a lot of height and length on it there. Yeoman defenders coverage team was able to get down the field and force the receiver to make a fair catch on it. And they've returns they've done really well. So that's a big play right there.
So Belleville will go back to work, leading by a touchdown, 14-7. Quickly to the line here. Set a man in motion, and they're going to try the trap here around the left side. That is going to be stopped, though, by the Yeoman after a yard gain, and that's something the Yeoman have needed, is a stop of some kind for short yardage.
Nice job there by the outside linebacker, Trenton, or the defensive lineman, Trenton Nix.
Looks like they actually gave him 2 yards on falling forward. So he has 2nd and 8 for Belleville. 6.5 minutes to go here in the first quarter. And they're going to send one man wide to the near side of the field here on this left side. Under center, sending another man in motion to make it 2 to the left side. But they're going to go to the right side this time, trying another quick play here. Trying to come around that right side and picks up about 4 yards on the carry and just to the 41-yard line.
Tell you, they run their plays so quick. Their backs are so close up to the line of scrimmage, and so they hit the hole so fast that it doesn't have to stay open for very long for them to be able to make any yards.
So 3rd down and 4 for Belleville. Coming to the line with 3 wide receivers and a shotgun look. And looking to throw. Lets it fly. That ball is going to be caught and juggled and still held on to. Then he's up across midfield and finally goes down at the 47-yard line.
And they're going to hurry up here.
And they are. And again, in the shotgun look. It's two receivers to the left and one to the right for the quarterback, Lischke. And he's going to hand it off up the middle. Looked like sort of like a draw, delayed handoff. And picks up about 6 yards on the carry.
I tell you, that Belleville offensive line is really good, Brett. That's that big center. Man, that guy is really handling this up front.
The 41-yard line, inside 5.5 minutes to go in the Rafter P Trucking first quarter. Belleville on top, 14-7. Now in the huddle, about 3 yards off the ball. The quarterback comes running out of the field, Lischke. Comes under center. Two receivers to the left side. Sends a man in motion. There's no one in the backfield behind the quarterback who's going to keep it. And he is brought down immediately at the 40.
Absolutely wonderful job by Eduardo Gill there. Young man that had a great game for the Yoe defense on the line last week. He read that all the way and really limited the quarterback's ability to get loose there.
Well, perfect spot for Belleville. Running that slot T. It's a third and short. Clock inside 4:40 left to go in the first quarter. Back to their usual slot T, but this time we've got flags here stopping the play.
Looks like illegal procedure, I believe, against Belleville. Yes.
That will help the Yoe defense out just a tad, pushing Belleville back to a 3rd and 8.
Which I've thought a couple of times already that they like to go with some quick motion in the backfield, get a guy kind of a head start. And a lot of times I don't feel like their linemen are set, which is an illegal shift, illegal procedure call. I'm glad to see that finally being called on them there.
3rd down and 8 from the Yoe 45-yard line. Coming to the line is the Bravos. Setting a man to the right. A wide out is wide, and now looking to throw. He's going to go that direction, and that ball is caught on the slant there, and that is going to end up as a nice catch and a first down for Belleville.
Yeah, they used the motion to widen out our secondary player there, and then kind of ran a flag pattern in underneath them.
So now they're going to run to the hurry up again, this time going to the shotgun with 3 receivers, 2 to the left, 1 to the right. One man in the backfield, but they're looking to throw. They're going to try the screen pass themselves, but this one is going to be blown up in the backfield.
Great job by Pharrell Hemphill there, reading the play, getting off the block, and being able to just really attack the receiver as he caught the ball in the backfield.
So a huge loss. Pushes them back about 7 yards. 2nd and 17 now. From the 30-yard line. Belleville will have it. Clock inside 3.5 minutes here in the first quarter. Yeoman trailing 14-7. Belleville with the football and the shotgun. 2 receivers to the right side this time. Tries the handoff this time. He's going to find a hole up the middle. Now cuts back to his left. Found a blocker, and he's inside the 10, and he'll get into the end zone, tiptoeing his way in. Belleville up now 20-7.
Tell you, a really good job by the Belleville offensive line there again, pulling both the left guard and tackle on that counter play, and then the back just did a great job of cutting it back against the grain once he had a gap.
So 20-7 is the new score. 3:10 on the clock. Now trying for the extra point are the Brahmas, as the snap is good and the kick is as well. 21-7 is the new score here at Yoe Field. The Yeomen trailing with 3:10 to go in the Rafter P Trucking first quarter. You're listening to Yoe Football and 105 on the Ranch.
Caliber Metal in Cameron, Texas provides all your PBR panel, classic rib panel, and standing seam concealed fastener materials. We also cut standard and custom trim up to 21 feet. We have metal to metal and metal to wood screws, closures, pipe boots, and sealants. We have a quick turnaround with 20 colors in stock. Located at 106 South Washington Avenue, Cameron, Texas. Buy local 254-605-4110. And mention the Ranch 1051 and receive a 5% discount for new customers.
Well, the Yeomen find themselves in a hole now, 21-7, 2-touchdown lead for Belleville. 3:10 to go here in the Rafter P Trucking first quarter. The Yeomen defense trying to find some answers right now.
Yeah, really struggling to pick up the ball action in the backfield, the quickness that Belleville runs their plays.
Well, the Brahmas set to kick off here, leading 21-7 now. And the Yeomen will have some work to do. Still plenty of time left in this ball game. As the kick coming. That'll be a short pooch kick. They're calling for a fair catch. Now it's going to fall to the turf. That'll be picked up. But I think he may have stepped out in doing so. And that's going to set the Yeoman back to about the 25-yard line.
Yeah, the 24. Henry Hubnick had to come in and scoop that ball up after he wasn't the one that signaled fair catch. I missed the number of the player that signaled fair catch, but he just let the ball bounce there. So nice job by Henry getting up there and scooping the ball up.
So the offense will come back out. It's actually at the 24-yard line. So 1st and 10 for the Yeoman here. 3:07 on the clock. The Yeoman trailing by 2 scores now. So Zeinert and quarterback standing in the shotgun. He'll be flanked on either side by tailbacks. He's got 2 receivers to his left side, 1 to his right. High snap. And they're going to hand off, working his way through the middle of that teeth of that defensive Bellville, picking up a nice gain, 9 yards on the carry.
Really nice carry by Keyshawn Johnson there up the middle on the zone play.
Inside 3 minutes left here this first quarter. They're going to go the same formation, a twin back set. And Zeinert again handing it off. Right up the middle he goes. This time bouncing through one tackler to another one, and then finally will fall down after about a 5-yard gain.
Nice bruising run there by Keyshawn Johnson, almost a Jerome Bettis-style run for people that remember him with Notre Dame and Pittsburgh Steelers to pick up the first down for the Yeoman.
Another Centex Auto first down. That's your buy here, pay here dealer over in Temple. They've got 2 locations over there. Inside 2.5 minutes to go. 1st and 10 for the Yeoman from their own 38-yard line. Twin receivers to each side as Zeinert is going to throw. He's got Zachorian Spikes, but he is going to be wrapped up immediately and will go down after a 4-yard catch.
Yeah, nice little 4-yard hitch pass there to Spikes. And a nice job. I'm going to tell you, he kind of paid for making the catch, but a nice job of securing the ball there.
Inside 2 minutes to go here at Yoe Field. In this Raptor P Trucking first quarter.
That's 2 minutes in the first quarter. Yeah, not the half.
21-7, Belleville out in front. Yeoman on the move here. 2 receivers off to the left side for Zeinert, who hands this ball off. Trying to find his way up the middle now, bouncing around to the right side. Up across midfield, Sutter steps and up across the 45, and then brought down. On the carry there is Fabian Bynum.
Nice job by Fabian. He initially tried to follow his lead blocker, the sniffer back there, but saw that they had it kind of stuffed, and so he broke it outside to the right side over the right edge of the line of scrimmage, pick up the first down.
I like what the Yeomen are doing here right now. It seems like this drive has been a lot more measured, a lot more patient.
Yeah, keeping Belleville a little bit off their heels a little bit.
After another Centex Auto first down, here's the first play of this series, and this one has another handoff up the middle, but it should be enough for 3 yards.
Yeah, nice little 3-yard run by Bynum up the middle there on this just a regular zone play.
1.5 minutes to go here in the Raptor P Trucking first quarter. Yeoman making some changes offensively. Yeoman trailing here on a 2nd down and 7 coming up for the offense. Trips bunched over to the right side for Cameron. 1 man alone to the left as Zeinert surveys the defense. High snap. Hands the ball off anyway up the middle. And a punishing run here for 2 yards.
Yeah, a nice hard run by Johnson again. That high snap, that really, it affects your timing on your play. And I know that's something I spoke with Coach Mark about here about a week ago. And noticed, our quarterback's having to jump for the snap on every play. And it's something I know that he told me that he was working on getting corrected as offensive line coach.
Less than a minute, in fact, coming up on about 35 seconds to go here in this first quarter is Yeoman still looking to make some noise here in the first quarter. 3 receivers off to the left side as Belleville prances around on the defensive line. Zeinert taking his time, and now we've got flags here.
Yeah, I think Zachorian got off about a step early there and cost us on the illegal procedure.
A penalty against the Yeoman will stall the Yeoman here after nice progress that they had made to this point. Clock is running now. Coming up on inside of 15 seconds left in this first quarter. And our quarter brought to you by Raptor P Trucking. Less than 10 seconds to go. It's a 3rd and 10 for the Yeomen. 3 receivers to the left side. Zeinert looking to throw, looking to his right, going to go that way. He's got a man on that out pattern, and what a play by Zakorian Spikes to make that catch and then slip and fall as he'll be just shy of a first down, or at least pretty close to it.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to be about a yard short there as that brings up the end of the first quarter. So Coach Brashear's got a little bit of extra time to kind of decide what he wants to do here to go for it, I'm sure, on this 4th down play.
Let's take a 30-second timeout. We'll come back and have our second quarter at Barrel Bump Smokers. This is Yo Football on 105 on the Rap.
Heating and air conditioning. We all expect it to work. When it doesn't, don't call any heating and AC company. Call Temple Heat and Air, your full-service AC and heating company. 254-771-1012. Locally owned and operated since 2001, you'll see the difference in their personalized, safe, and friendly service. As an American Standard and Lennox dealer, you'll get the right parts and service for the right system. Get same-day service and no surprises, plus great financing and discounts. When your system isn't working, call Temple Heat and Air, 254-771-1012.
Start of our second quarter here tonight as the Yeomen trailing 21-7. Our second quarter brought to you by Barrel Bump Smokers. That's for the easy-to-use, customized smokers, including customized paint jobs and everything. You want a nice-looking, ugly drum smoker, go contact Barrel Bump Smokers, 979-220-6147. You can also find them on Facebook, locally owned and operated, plus reasonably priced. That's Barrel Bump Smokers. Start of the second quarter here is Yeomen on the move now, moving right to left on the radio dial. Big receiver off to the left side for Zeinert, but he's going to hand off and trying for the first down here on a 4th down play, and this one should be enough for a first down. And it is a Centex Auto first down for the Yeomen, and that was a key call here in the first half of this ball game.
Yeah, Keyshawn Johnson kind of is the Yo power back so far this season. Was able to get in there and carry a couple guys for the first down.
And Yeomen trailing 21-7 here in the first half of this ball game. 11.5 minutes to go before halftime. Offense comes out, 2 receivers to the left side for Zeinert, 1 to the right. 1 man in the backfield, and they're going to hand it. Or actually, I think Zeinert kept that ball, and he is going to be wrapped up at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, it's kind of a read type play where he's reading the defensive end there to decide whether he wants to hand the ball to the running back or not. And the defensive end took the running back, so he pulled it there. But unfortunately, blocking scheme broke down on the inside, too, and so they were able to track Zane down.
Inside 11 minutes now till halftime. Yeomen still with the football, 2nd down and 10, and in Bellville territory, trailing by 2 scores. Twin receivers to each side as Zeinert takes the football, looks to his right. And he's going to throw this one. That ball is going to be caught backing up now, retracing his steps, and he's going to have enough, I think, pretty close for a first down after making that catch.
Really nice throw by Zane there, and nice catch by Zakorian. It was one of those plays where Zane let go of the ball well before Zakorian ever broke off his route, ever turned to look for the ball. But as soon as he turned to look, boom, the ball was right there. Nice catch and run after the catch.
So a Centex Auto first down puts the Yeomen knocking on the door of the Bling Box Boutique red zone at the 23-yard line, so just outside of the red zone. 10:18 on the clock, counting down. On the far hash mark, setting a man in motion across the field. Now 2 to the right for Zeinert. Bellville makes a move on the defensive line, and Zeinert takes a snap, and he'll hand the ball off up the middle and finds little to no running room. Maybe got a couple, 3 yards.
Yeah, you probably got 3, maybe 4 yards on that right there. Again, that Keyshawn Johnson, who's kind of came out as our power back, it looks like, so far this season, and is really able to get some tough yards when we need them.
Does push the Yeomen into the Bling Box Boutique red zone. 2 receivers right, and Zeinert going to keep this, looking for the edge around the left side, inside the 20, inside the 10. Finally, will be smothered at about the 9-10-yard line.
I like that run right there by Zane a lot more than his last run. On the last time, whenever he pulled the ball after faking it into the running back's stomach, he kind of followed the running back. This time he went the opposite direction, and so he just was able to use to get outside and pick up the first down.
First and goal for the Yeomen in the Bling Box Boutique Red Zone. That's the Bling Box Boutique at 111 North Central, downtown Cameron. Check out their Facebook, too. They post all kinds of cool stuff on there. And, of course, go say hi to the good folks that own the place. That's the Renaults. Just wonderful, wonderful people. 9.5 minutes to go here in the Barrel Bump Smokers second quarter. Yeomen trailing by 2 scores. 2 receivers off to the right side for Zeinert. He's got one to the left, but he's going to keep this one. Tries to bounce it to the left, but instead goes back to his right and up the middle into the middle of that defensive line for Belleville and finds about 2 yards on the carry.
Yeah, basically just an isolation lead play there where, instead of a, turnaround handing it to a tailback on a lead play, the quarterback becomes the tailback on that play.
The Yeomen looking to try to make up a 2-touchdown deficit here. Coming up on 9 minutes left before halftime. Second and goal from the 7-yard line. How important is a touchdown right here?
I think it's big because you got to realize Belleville's going to get the ball coming out the second half.
Zeinert looking to throw after a twin wide receiver set, looking for the post pattern, and he has it. That ball is caught in the corner of the end zone. Touchdown, Yeomen.
Outstanding little crossing route there by the 2 receivers on the right-hand side. Jaden Sanchez able to get behind his man, and Zane with a perfect throw over the top right into the basket. Actually, I think that was the case in Goolsby, not Sanchez. The wrinkled up front of the jersey kind of threw me off there.
So, Yeomen have the touchdown. Goolsby makes the catch. Here's the Cryer Collision extra points. A low kick, but it's high enough, and it's in and through. That's your Cryer Collision extra point. At 3003 North Travis and Cameron, or call Cryer Collision 697-2122 for all your auto body repair needs. Now just a touchdown deficit for the Yeomen. They trailed 21-14. 8:47 on the clock here in the Barrel Bum Smokers second quarter. Go football on 105 on the Ranch.
With more than 100 years of serving Central Texas, Buckholz State Bank is all about you, the customer. Banking with a personal touch. That's what Buckholz Bank does best. At Buckholz State Bank, you're not just a number. Discover the difference. Stop in at any of their 3 locations and visit with a personal banker about becoming a valued customer. Because we care. Buckholz State Bank in Buckholz, Cameron Branch Buckholz State Bank, and Rogers Bank. Member FDIC.
All right, welcome back here at Yoe Field. The Yeomen now within 7, trailing 21-14. 8:47 on the clock, still plenty of time in this ball game. Home opener for the Cameron Yeomen here tonight. Of course, got started just a little bit later than normal. At 8 o'clock kickoff instead of 7:30 thanks to a lightning delay.
Welcome to the 2020 COVID season.
Right. As long as we don't get what happened a couple of years ago in Gatesville, I'm okay with how things are going right now.
Yeah, that was miserable.
That was like monsoon season, I think. That was incredible. All right, Yeomen getting ready to kick away now to Belleville. All teed up at the 40-yard line as the Yeomen will send it off, and that's going to be kicked. It'll go out of. That'll draw a flag. And a tough start for the Yoe special teams there. So Belleville's offense will go back to work.
Looks like they're going to elect to have us re-kick.
Oh, that's what they'll do.
Yeah, move us back 5 and try again.
So the re-kick by the Yeomen will be coming up.
And I don't blame Belleville. I mean, they've got outstanding return guys back there. Have done a great job so far in the ball game.
That they have. And the Yeomen will now have to kick from their own 35-yard line. Two men for Belleville, both standing about their own 15-yard line. There's one man at about the 28.
Kind of over on the right hash. Kind of odd.
It's kind of been where the
leaves a lot of space over on the left hash.
It does do that. So we'll try a kickoff for the second time after the 5-yard penalty. And the Yeomen will kick this one. That's going to be angled right at that right hash man. He's going to field that at the 30. He's got about a 20-yard return up across the 45-yard line. So they mark him at the 44, it looks like.
Brought down finally by number 32, Jesse Martinez, the kicker.
So 8:42 now on the clock. Got another nice field position spot for Belleville. They've had excellent field position just about every drive tonight. 1st and 10 for the Brahmas.
Really hope that your defense can stiffen up a little bit here. Maybe make Belleville, give us a ball back before halftime. Give us a chance to tie this thing up heading into half.
Probably near hash mark. Belleville comes to the line. 2 receivers off to the left side for Lishka. And Yeoman driving this ball carrier back, but I think he's going to get forward progress for, half a yard?
Yeah, just a old-timey split-back veer type play there, and great job by the outside linebacker, Landon Green there, caving it down in until he could get some help to get the ball carrier on the ground. This Yoe defense with the 6 sophomores starting on it is kind of a little bit undersized, and it's really showing up against this Belleville squad.
2nd and 8 for the Brahmas as Lishka hands the ball off. Nearly was wrapped up for a 5-yard loss, but somehow escaped the grasp of Eduardo Gill, and still it managed to get back to the line of scrimmage somehow.
Another outstanding job there by the Yoe defense of playing assignment football, not falling for the reverse action in the backfield.
A 3rd down and 9 for Belleville. Clock inside, 7:40 to go until halftime.
Big play for the Yoe defense right here.
Coming up on 7.5. Yeoman trailing by a touchdown, 21-14. 2 receivers off to the left side, 1 to the right as Lishka in the shotgun for Belleville. Looking to throw. Goes that direction to his left side. That ball caught. Hauled in at about the 45-yard line of Cameron, and he'll pick up an extra yard on the run to make it a 1st down for Belleville.
I tell you, if Belleville wasn't such a good slot T team, if they weren't so good at running the slot T, you wouldn't know it by how well they are when they get in the spread.
Yep, everything has been crisp for them. A little bit different from what we saw in Bahia. They've got some work to do to catch up. That comes with a new coach, though, installing a new scheme. Meanwhile, 1st down, and they'll have this ball off, and moving the pile for a large gain is Belleville. That's about 7 yards.
Again, I think they probably outweigh us by a good 15, 20 pounds per man on that front line there. And so they just kind of use their size to their advantage on that play to move the defensive line back.
6-yard carry actually makes it a 2nd down and 4 for Belleville. 6.5 minutes to go.
Defensive linemen, when they're undersized like that, they got to kind of drop to their knees and grab grass and not get pushed back.
2 receivers to the left side for Belleville, but they're going to hand it off. Coming around that left side, fights his way across the 1st down marker, and almost to the 30-yard line. He'll be at the 31. So after the 1st down run, Belleville chewing up clock here, coming up on 6 minutes to go before halftime. And on the Yoe side of the field right now, Belleville on top, 21-14. Coming to the line is the Brahmas. Going to be the belly play, and that is going to be enough for about 5.
Yeah, like you said, that inside veer there, and their offensive linemen come off the ball so quickly, and they're outstanding up front.
2nd and 5 coming up for the Brahmas. 5.5 minutes to go here in the Barrel Bum Smokers 2nd quarter. Coming to the line quickly. Sending a man in motion. He's going to again up the middle. He's going to break through, and he's going to be in wide open territory and races into the end zone untouched. Touchdown, Belleville.
Just that inside veer again. They're so physical on the inside, and they just got us a little bit outsized there. Going to have to come up with a plan here at the half to really slow them down in the second half.
So with 5:18 on the clock, it's now 27-14 Belleville. The extra point try is coming, as the kick is going to be blocked. And so, a 27-14 ball game. 5:18 on the clock. The extra point no good for Belleville.
The good news is They left us 5 minutes to get another score here. The bad news is we're down by 2 scores.
Well, you're listening to Yo Football here on 105 on the Ranch. We're back in a moment.
Let your house welcome you home with a perfect temperature. The iComfort Wi-Fi thermostat from Lennox features remote control access so you can adjust your home's temperature from anywhere. That makes it the perfect complement to a Lennox home comfort system. Right now, Cox's Heating and AC is offering up to $1,600 in rebates on a new system, or enjoy no payments for the first 3 months when you finance a new Lennox system for as little as $116 a month. So make yourself comfortable. Call Cox's Heating and AC, 254-697-4252. Terms and conditions apply. See dealer for details. License number TACL B009432E.
Back here in the Barrel Bum Smokers second quarter, Yeoman now trailing 27-14 after a touchdown run by Bellville, but the missed extra point. Yeoman find themselves down by 2 scores once again. 5:18 on the clock before halftime. So Yeoman still have some time to put some points on the board. Don's Peyton body scoring drive from the last Yo drive showed 13 plays, 76 yards, ended in a Goolsby 7-yard touchdown catch. That's Don's Peyton body. Over on West 4th across from Brookshire Brothers in Cameron. Give them a call, 697-2011. Here's the kickoff by Belleville. That'll be caught inside the 25-yard line, up across the 30. There's the 40. One man to beat through the arms, the 50, the 40, and he is going to go down, caught from behind.
Outstanding job by Jaden Sanchez there. He's getting the ball, just getting it and go. We employ that reverse or fake reverse on the kickoff so much that I think they were kind of looking for some of that to happen and didn't realize that he was just going to take it right up their gut. And man, he almost took it all the way to the house.
Almost. Had one man to beat. I think that was the kicker. 5:11 to go here in the first half. Yeoman trailing 27-14, and Yeoman have their best starting field position of the night. It's on the Belleville side on the 37. Yeoman in the shotgun. 3 receivers to the left side. That's going to be the short side of the field. Yeoman on the near hash mark. Belleville moves the defensive line as Zaynard takes the snap. And he's going to let one fly. And he overthrew his man, but somehow was able to hang on to that football, and he comes down with it. What a fantastic catch that was.
Man, absolutely unbelievable coverage there by the Belleville corner on Pharrell Hemphill. But Pharrell just really went up and just took the ball away from him for the big gain. Set the Yeoman up first and goal from about the 7-yard line.
Incredibly strong hands on Hemphill. He took that ball away on a jump ball.
Yeah, that was an interception all the way, and he just took it away.
Puts the Yeoman in the Bling Box Boutique red zone inside the 10-yard line. A handoff coming around that left side, and he is going to be into the end zone. Touchdown, Yeoman. That is Fabian Bynum.
Yeah, nice isolation zone play there by Bynum. Get the Yeoman back within a score here. Didn't take much time, so, if we can, I've seen it happen so many times where we've scored with, 4 minutes and 42 seconds to go, and me turn to whoever I'm sitting beside and say, hey, we got time for one more. Well, we've got time for one more here. Let's go and get it.
One more. 27-20 is the score. Crier collision extra point. Yeoman runs on late for the extra point try. Now ready to go. Here's the kick. The Crier Collision extra point is good. That's Crier Collision for your auto body repair needs. 697-2122 or 3003 North Travis and Cameron. Our new score, 27-21 here in the Barrel Bum Smokers second quarter. Yeoman trailing by 6. This is Yo Football and 105 on the Ranch.
Predicting the unexpected in life is impossible. That's why it's called Unexpected. So when it comes to your financial goals, our philosophy is don't predict, prepare. Hi, I'm Edward Jones financial advisor, Melanie Romine. A job loss, change in health, or loss of a loved one can make a big impact on your family's financial security. Let's work together to help make sure you're equipped for life's unexpected events. Stop by our office at 315 South Houston here in Cameron for a face-to-face appointment. Edward Jones, making sense of investing, member SIPC.
Welcome back here to Yo Field. 4:42 now on the clock before halftime. Yeoman within 6. 27-21. This has been a high-scoring first half.
Yeah, Yo offense has definitely done their part so far. It's time for that young Yo defense to step up and give the offense another chance before the half.
Yeoman preparing to kick this one off. Everyone has some issues with kicking here tonight. We've seen Offsides. We've seen re-kicks. We've seen out-of-bounds kicks. Still trying to work out the kinks. See what happens. Kicking away to Belleville here. A pretty good kick, actually. That's going to be fielded at the 20-yard line. Now working his way up. Sidesteps the first man. Misses another one through an arm tackle there. Up across the 40, the 45, the 50. He's trying to go back towards his own sideline. And finally will be brought down on the Yoe side of the field near the 40.
I tell you, that guy's really good, Britt. That young man is a very elusive runner. He's really quick and shifty when he runs with the ball.
I'll push him back to the 43-yard line. That's where Belleville will start, and that's excellent field position for a team that has not had issues scoring points here in the early part of this season.
Be a great time for the Yoe defense to come up with a turnover here.
4:33 on the clock as Belleville comes to the line. One receiver to the right side, but this is going to be a pitch play over to the right side, and coming around, he tried to hop over a man, and he got hit in the knee, and he is slow to get up.
Nice job there by Landon Green of kind of blowing up the lead blocker, causing the back to try to have to hurdle him and tripping him up in the process.
Yeah, he was slow to get up, got up gingerly, but he is still on the field and in the huddle for Belleville. Second down and 10 coming up for the Brahmas here, coming up on 4 minutes to go before halftime. Yeoman trailing by 6 points, 27-21. Two receivers now off to the left side for the Brahmas. Fleshgother center, hands off to the fullback, and he is going to be immediately brought down. That's about a yard gain, maybe a yard and a half.
Nice job by Eduardo Gill of filling the hole there with Fabian Solomon in right behind him to fill it, to really limit the Brahmas. Big play here for the Yoe defense.
Is a big play. It's going to be third down on 3rd and long. We've seen Belleville come out in a spread formation. We'll see what they do here. 3rd and 9. Clock inside 3.5 minutes until halftime.
A couple of late substitutions by the Brahmas.
From the Yoe 42-yard line on 3rd and 9. Belleville comes out in their custom slot T formation, but looking to throw, rolling to his left. And they're going to let one fly over through. We've got flags on the field, however.
Yeah, it was definitely holding in the backfield there. I think Colton Barbeau, it was either Colton Barbeau or Trenton Nix, I wasn't sure which one it was, had a good beat on the quarterback, and the running back that was assigned to him just reached out and grabbed him and almost tackled him there. Interesting to see. I would assume that Coach Brashear probably declined the penalty here, which he did to bring up 4th down. And Brahmas are bringing out their punt team. I wasn't sure in this area of the field if they would go for it or not.
So 3:08 on the clock. It's a 6-point ball game.
Definitely a spot in the game here where you might consider, if you're Coach Rowe from Belleville, running a fake.
It's a 4th down and 9 from the Yoe 42-yard line. And they are going to punt it. It's going to be a short pooch kick to the far side of the field. That'll take a bounce. It is going to favor Belleville. That'll be fielded inside the 10-yard line, retreating inside the 5, back towards the 10, dancing around, and finally goes out of bounds.
Yeah, it was Fabian Bynum, I think. That
was dangerous.
It was very dangerous, but I tell you, I like a kid with that type of confidence in his abilities there, that he's not afraid to take some chances there. I've seen guys that are able to bust those plays, and so I like that Fabian didn't cower down to the play there. He gave it his all.
So it'll be from the 9-yard line, it looks like, where the Yeoman will have it. It's 2:56 on the clock. 1st and 10 for Cameron, pinned inside their 10. That was a smart coaching decision by Belleville to try to pin Cameron deep, but Cameron's got plenty of weapons. We'll see what they can do with 3 minutes to go before halftime. 3 receivers to the left side for Zidert as he's going to hand the first ball off. Trying to find some room, being patient, but picks up a couple, 3 yards, and then immediately slammed to the ground.
Counterplay to pick up a couple yards, kind of get us a little bit out of the shadows of the end zone, maybe. It'd be nice if we could pick up a good first down here, and then maybe take a few shots through the air to see what we can do.
So 2nd down and 7 now, inside 2.5 minutes left in the ball game, or at least in the first half. Got a whole half still to go.
I'd say just enough time for the Yeomen to get on the board one more time.
They do have that capability. 3 receivers to the left for Zidert, 1 to the right. Up on 2:15 to go when they snap it, and now the ball comes onto the ground, and the failed exchange.
Ziner was definitely handing the ball all the way there. Ziner had pulling line, or to Johnson had the pulling lineman in front of him. For some reason, Johnson never clamped down on the ball like he thought Ziner was maybe going to pull it.
And so that will push the Yeomen back behind the 8 ball. 3rd down and 11. And the clock continuing to run. Yeomen trailing by 6. Minute 45.
I think Coach Brashear is going to call a timeout here and make sure he's got the right play. Doesn't want to make a mistake, like I said, in the shadows of his own end zone here.
They have a chance to stop this at about a minute and a half. That's what he's going to do. So a minute and a half left here in the first half. Yeomen trailing by 6. And we're going to take a break here on the timeout as well. We're back in 30 seconds. This is Yo Football on 105 on the Ranch.
Power. Power is being behind the wheel of a Ram 3500 with 1,000 pounds per foot of torque. Power is a 12-inch touchscreen and 395 horsepower Hemi V8. Ram Power Days are going on now at Cameron Autoplex in Cameron, Texas. If you count on your truck, then you can count on Cameron Autoplex to deliver the right truck for you. We have the selection and the pricing our customers deserve. We are your Central Texas Truck Authority. Shop in person or online at CameronAutoplex.com. And remember, it's always cheaper in Cameron.
Going back out of the timeout, a minute and a half to go before halftime. Yeomen trailing 27-21 here in this first half. A 3rd down and 11 for the Yo offense from their own 8-yard line. So Cameron, deep in their own end of the field, facing a critical 3rd down before halftime.
Well, and you also don't want to give the ball back to the Brahmas so close to the end zone, give them a chance to get another score before the half.
Exactly. We'll see what the Yeomen do after the timeout. They are going to have the ball on the turf yet again, as this was a bad snap, and that was kicked around before the Yeomen, I think, fell back on top of it. But another loss of yards. It pushes them inside the 5 and brings up 4th down.
And I believe Bellville took a timeout there to preserve as much time they can to try to get them one more score.
That they did. So on 4th down, Yeomen will be in a punting situation. 1:23 on the clock. Bellville has taken a timeout now. And so the Brahmas looking to try to capitalize on a couple of mistakes by the Yeomen here. You had the bad exchange on an attempted handoff, and then the bad snap.
Which is disappointing after the nice little 3-yard run to start the drive. To kind of, again, try to get out of the shadows of our own end zone.
1:23 is what's on the clock. Belleville has, I believe, 2 timeouts. The Yeomen with also 2. But a 4th down here leads to a punting situation. Yeomen trailing by 6. Belleville will have excellent field position when they get this football. Both receivers, deep men for the Brahmas, standing inside the 45-yard line of the Yeomen. Ziner deep in his own end zone. There's the snap, and this is a high punt. That is going to take a bounce at about the 44-yard line. It takes a Yo bounce across midfield and continues to roll. And that will be stopped at the 42-yard line.
I tell you, we couldn't have asked for a better play right there on that 4th down to get the punt off, and them not be able to field it, and then us get a nice, generous roll there as well to give them what's at about 58 yards to go to try to get them another score before the half.
6-point victory or lead right now for Belleville. 1:10 on the clock here in the second quarter. Brought to you by Barrel Bump Smokers. 1st and 10 for the Brahmas from their own 43-yard line. And they're going to come out in the shotgun. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Leshka, though, hands it off, trying to come around the right edge, and they've got no running room.
Nice job by the Yo defense stepping up, gang tackling there. Eduardo Gill, Colton Barbo, Armando Reyes, and just a host of Yeomen then on the tackle there.
Going to the hurry up inside 45 seconds to go here in the first half. Leshka looking to throw, looking deep. He's going to throw. There's some exchanges of hands back there. No flags. The ball falls incomplete.
I tell you, Fabian Bonham and the receiver really, really battling for the ball there. And Fabian went up and got a hand on it, but when he did, he kind of tipped it towards where the receiver was, and Yeoman are very lucky to catch that because Fabian had fallen to the ground. He would have had a touchdown if he would have.
38.8 seconds left here in the first half. Yeoman trailing by 6. A 3rd and 10 for Belleville. Yeoman still have 2 timeouts. Again with the shotgun. Leska looking to throw. Instead hands it off on a delayed handoff. But Yeoman not fooled here. They bring him down. And Yeoman will burn a timeout here with 32.9 seconds to go.
Really nice job by the sophomore linebacker, Colton Barbo, spying the running back there, making sure that, if a draw or screen, delayed handoff, anything like there, and just keeping Belleville away from getting their first down and bringing them up where they're going to have to punt the ball away to the Yeoman again.
So 4th down and a punt coming up for Belleville. 32.9 seconds left here in this first half.
How big would it be if the Yeoman could, return this for a touchdown right here and, take the lead going into the half after that just, pretty kind of disastrous first quarter there.
Coming up at halftime, we'll have our halftime report brought to you by Lisa Roden, your Germania insurance agent. Stick around for that. We'll also, of course, present the Yo Band. We'll have some halftime stats with our good buddy Josh Pratt. But meanwhile, punt coming up right here. With 32.9 seconds to go before we get to halftime. 1 man deep for the Yeoman about his 20-yard line. Punter standing at his own 30 for Belleville. And that is going to be a decent punt. That takes a bounce at the 25, and that's going to take a Belleville roll inside the 10-yard line. And they will down it at the 6. The Yeoman pinned deep, 22.5 seconds to go.
I would guess at this juncture of the game, Coach Brashear probably elect to, wait a minute. Call a roughing penalty against the Yeoman?
There is a penalty on the play. And that is going to give, I believe that would give should give him a first down.
Yeah, I believe so.
So Belleville will come back out on offense. A huge mistake by the Yeoman. That gives Belleville the football back at the Yo 40-yard line, 1st and 10. 22.6 seconds to go, and a huge mistake. So the defense comes back out after an incredible stop. And now Leska looking to throw for Belleville. Wide open at the 45-yard line, the 35, the 30, the 20, and he's got 1 man to beat, and he runs into the end zone. Touchdown, Belleville.
Great peel back block there by the wide receiver. They ran the back out of the backfield, and the linebacker that I believe is assigned to go with him didn't realize it and let him run right by him and got him open there.
The touchdown by Belleville after the costly roughing the kicker penalty will cost the Yeoman here, leading into halftime. Extra point try for Belleville. That kick is up and through, and it's 34-21. Belleville, just 12.3 seconds left before halftime. You're listening to Yo Football on 105 on the Ranch.
Standards Home Health and Hospice knows that it can be difficult to make the decisions to receive in-home health care for yourself or a loved one. But when home health or hospice care is needed, know that the caring nurses and staff of Standards Home Health will be there for you. From in-home consultations to hospice care, their goal is to provide personalized service with care from the heart. Make the call today to Standards Home Health and Hospice. 1-888-671-7007. 1-888-671-7007.
Welcome back here with just 12.3 seconds left on the clock here before halftime. Yeoman now trailing 34-21. 21. Another 2-score lead for Belleville here. And a series of costly mistakes here at the end of the first half for the Yeomen. You had, it started with a series where they started from inside their own 10-yard line, and after a nice 3-yard run to start that drive, went backwards. Then eventually punted away, had a nice defensive stand, but you on fourth down in a punting situation, you end up roughing the kicker, giving the ball right back to Belleville, and a nice penalty yards on top of that, and they immediately go one-play touchdown.
Yeah, the defense did a great job of getting themselves off the field, but the special teams let them down.
12.3 seconds left as Belleville will be kicking here to the Yeomen. Belleville on top, 34-21. A late start to our game. We are well into this one now. It's now going to be kicked on the ground, and that is going to take a bounce and then fielded at the 22-yard line. Coming up that right side, sidestepping, then trying to break out of a tackle. He does, goes backwards, and he will eventually go down with about 2 seconds left before halftime.
I think he actually fumbled the ball, and the Yeomen were lucky to cover that. Otherwise, Belleville would have had a chance to come out and try to kick a long field goal.
2.3 seconds is all that's left here before halftime. Our halftime report coming up from Lisa Roden, your Germania insurance agent. Break down what we saw in this first half. Also get you some scores and some stats. Yeomen will come out here first and 10. Ball on their own 18-yard line. Just 2.3 seconds left here before halftime. High snap, but handed off and looking for some running room around his left side. Makes the first man miss. Stutter steps across the 30 and then goes out of bounds. But that will be I believe, is the final play of the first half. The Yeomen will go into the locker room trailing 34-21 at the half. Let's join the Germania halftime report. Welcome back to our halftime report here from the Yoe Field press box. Yeomen trailing 34-21 presently as we enter the half. And Coach Driska, this has been a troubling, I guess, end of the first half. Things look to be stabilizing before the end. That last few minutes, that about 4 minutes or so stretch, I guess, in the second quarter.
Yeah, the Yeomen actually put together a couple of really nice drives, kept the Brahma defense on the field for some long drives. I think they had a 7-play drive, and I'm not sure what the other one was, but the Brahma defense was on the field for a long time there. Really wore their defense down, I think, and so a couple of really nice drives on offense. Ran the ball well. We threw the ball well on those drives. Looked like, we were kind of, coming into our own there. Defense, a couple of really nice stands there, slowing the Brahma offense down, forcing a couple of punts and things like that. And so both the offense and defense look like they're starting to kind of get things figured out, just the mistakes of, the kind of some mental mistakes, bad snap, bad exchange, roughing the punter, things like that that's really cost us so far.
Tell you what, let's take our first time out here on the Germania halftime report. When we come back, we'll get some stats from Josh Pratt to try to get this into perspective for us, and we'll break that down. So we'll come back in 60 seconds. We're back in just a moment here on the halftime.
It's a trust as true as Texas, a friend with a helping hand. When you want to ensure the good things in life, trust Germania.
Is your insurance company taking too big a bite out of your apple? When you're shopping for property insurance, think about coverage, service, and price. Make sure you're getting the most for your money. When you compare apples to apples, you'll see that Germania Insurance delivers outstanding value, competitive rates, flexible payment options, and discounts. Plus, Germania offers 24/7 customer claim service. Trusted by Texans since 1896. Don't give up service or sacrifice coverage. Compare apples to apples. Then choose the outstanding value offered by Germania Insurance.
So when you want to insure the good things in life, trust Germania.
Call 697-4683 for Sharon Ruback, representative of Ruback Insurance and Germania Farm Mutual Companies.
Back on the Germania half report here as we get into some halftime stats before we bring Driska back on. And all right, your halftime stats with Josh Prater brought to you by A&R Cattle Company in Burlington. What you got, buddy?
Yeah, we'll start with Bellville.
Hang on. By the way, welcome aboard to the to our broadcast.
Thank you. I would have loved to have been here last year, last week, but I was quarantined. But now we're here and we're ready to go.
Yeah. All right. So this is your debut. Go for it, buddy. It's all you.
Yeah, absolutely. Bellville, 11 first downs in that first half. Through the air, they were 5 for 7 with 78 yards. Jake Litchka completing all those passes there. Rushing-wise, they ran the ball for 203 yards. Richard Reese, their top back, is leading the way there with 11 carries for 137 yards. Robert Briggs also has 4 carries for 55 yards. Once again, Belleville has 281 yards in that first half. We'll get to Cameron here. Cameron has 10 first downs in that first half. Passing-wise, 7-11. Zane Zeinert for 126 yards and 2 touchdowns. Rushing-wise, Cameron has 86 yards rushing. Fabian Bynum has 6 carries for 59 yards. Keyshawn Johnson, 4 carries for 20 yards. And receiving-wise, Secordian Spikes, 4 receptions for 81 yards. And Pharrell Hemphill, 1 catch for 29 yards there in that first half.
All right, that is your statistics. Again, brought to you by A&R Cattle Company in Burlington. And good job, buddy.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
That was the debut of Josh Pratt on our halftime report.
We'll get it better each and every week.
Well, don't worry. You're going to get plenty of practice because we're going to do it again at the end of the game, buddy.
Sounds good.
All right, welcome back here on our Germania report as we welcome Driska back on here. And so you just heard the numbers, Kenny, and the slot T is what you expect when you see the rushing numbers, but impressed by what Belleville has done so far here tonight.
Yeah, no doubt. Very, very effective, very efficient offense. Very well coached, very disciplined in what they do. Man, just the speed at which they run their offensive plays and the quickness is just really impressive. I mean, they're really a very well-oiled machine offensively.
Yeah, and we have seen them come out in spread formations here tonight, but, their bread and butter is most definitely running into that slot T and all the misdirection and everything else that's going on to make you look one way when everything is going out the other way. It's the traditional Kansas City.
Yeah, right. And, I know one of the things I heard you say in the pregame, I think, was, about why has the Yeoman teams over the years been so successful against slot Ts. Slot T teams, like I said earlier, they typically throw the ball once per quarter whether they need to or not. But this is not your typical slot T type team. They throw the ball very well. They throw it very effectively. And so a much more multiple team. Teams that are one way or the other, teams that only throw the ball or teams that only run the ball, the Yeomen can usually play very well against those teams because we can kind of pin our ears back and figure out what they're doing, pin our ears back and go after them. But this team, they run the ball very effectively. They throw it very effectively. They use a lot of different formations, whether it be their slot T formations or their wide sets. And so just a very, very high caliber, high potent offense.
Well, we got the Yo Band coming on, made possible by our friends at Ideal Poultry in Cameron. As this presentation here is brought to you by them, of course, Ideal Poultry, one of the largest supporters of the Yoe Band, athletics and academics. Ideal Poultry, the good folks there. I think we've got.
Yeah, one thing I was going to say right quick, Brett, about the band is they are not allowed to start teaching drill yet, so they don't have their show in place. So it's a little different look just to see the Yeoman Band walk out onto the field tonight compared to what our fans are used to seeing.
Well, and for those that had a chance to watch the web stream of our band in Mexia, you'll also notice it's about 3 times as big.
Oh, yeah. yeah, because it's the full Yeoman Band tonight instead of just the half band, half band that's traveling.
Yeah, well, I think it was like 50, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So it's like a third of the band, I guess?
Yeah, that's about right.
Roughly. But yeah, you got the full band out here tonight. We do have a sideline mic. I want to say thanks to one of our former stat man, Kincaid Callahan, of course, is on Bell Brigade this year, which totally understand. He came to me during the offseason and said, hey, I really want to be spend my senior year with all my friends down on the Bell Brigade or in the stands. And so I said, yeah, that's fine. And the idea came to me last week. Hey, can you, if you're going to be down there right next to the band, can you just hold a mic for me?
Yeah.
He said, sure.
Nice job for him to be able to do a little bit of both.
Yes. So that's what we've got. We do have an open mic down there, and we'll be glad to bring you our award-winning Yoe High School band here in just a moment. Again, presented on the Media Halftime Show by Ideal Poultry in Cameron. This is one of the great that you will see in a halftime. Here they are.
Arranged by John Bannon. Solos for tonight's performance are Alondra Son and Tyler Martin.
Welcome back here at Yoe Field as part of Intermedia Halftime Report. There you go. That is the award-winning Yoe High School Band as presented by Idea Poultry in Cameron. Always fun to listen to those folks. You're not going to find a better band in all the land, correct?
Oh, for sure. I mean, Young Band is just the best band in the land. All right.
Our halftime report brought to you by Lisa Road, your Germania insurance agents. Again, we were talking about that first half. If you're the Yeoman, you got to be encouraged. 21 points on the board. You're playing a much more physical, much bigger football team in Belleville defensively. Offensively, you're also looking at a team that is much more physical, much bigger on that side of the deal. But Yeoman having some issues trying to control the line of scrimmage. We've seen that as, again, 286 yards of offense, over 200 yards rushing by Belleville. Of course, you know that they're going to get their yards rushing anyways as a slot T team. But this is a starkly different slot T than what we saw last week.
Yeah, they're miles down the road compared to where, Mejia is, with them having played their first ball game last week in that offense. These guys have been running this offense probably since, they were in Pee Wee there in the Belleville area. So they're very, very proficient at it, extremely well versed in all the nuances of it, and just do an outstanding job of running that offense.
Well, as we head into the second half of our game tonight, Yeoman find themselves down by a couple of scores. That's actually something that's pretty doable for the Yeoman based on what we've seen here tonight. The difference is, last week we saw an incredible defensive performance by the Yeoman, possibly helped out by the fact that Mejia did not have a scrimmage, did not have a week's worth of practice because of COVID-19 issues, and of course installing a brand new offense that is the slot T. Yeoman were spectacular. We saw Edward O'Gill, for instance, had a monster game, was in the backfield. In fact, most of the defensive line for the Yeoman were in the backfield for most of that night against Mejia. It's not been the same sledding for the Yoe defensive front here tonight. No,
again, that Belleville offensive line probably has us outmanned by 15, 25 pounds per man up front. We're starting 6 sophomores on our defense. Those guys are just not as physically mature, as juniors and seniors are. They're a year or two behind, physically in their growth and development. And so the Belleville offensive line has really been able to handle the Yoe defensive line so far.
So if you're the Yeoman, you're not getting the penetration that you are hoping for defensively with your what is considered the strength of the Yoe defense, that front five. What can you do to alleviate that? Well,
and I think we made a few adjustments. I thought there in the second quarter where it looked early on like we were really kind of almost playing kind of a goal line type look where we were covering up more of the down linemen, playing more down linemen, not as many linebackers, which whenever if they were busted, then we were outmanned there and didn't have our linebackers to be able to flow and help. We looked to be playing a little bit more of a base 3-4 defense there later in the half, where our linebackers can still flow when those guys get through those gaps that they create so quickly and that they hit so quickly. And so I do feel like we did make some good adjustments there in the second quarter to be able to slow down that Brahma offense.
All right, going to take you into the coach's mind for now. If you are the head coach of Belleville right now in the locker room, what are you telling your kids?
Oh, I'm telling them that, hey, we got them right where we want them. Just keep pouring it on, if I'm Coach Grady Rowe from Belleville. I'm telling them that, they can't stop our running game and we can still pass the ball when we want to, because that's what they've proved so far that they can do here in the first half, no doubt.
Flip side of that, Tommy Brashear is having a talk with his kids as well. What's his message to the team?
Yeah, his message is that, you take away the last, 45 seconds or so of that half, we were one score away and could have been even closer. We had a chance there to drive the field and tie it up or take the lead there. So we've been down by this margin before in this game and had our chances. So we're a long ways from being over. We've proved that in that second quarter that we can sustain some drives and keep that Brahma offense off the field and put points on the board. We've proved that we can slow them down there in that second half defensively. And so we just have to get out and do a better job of with execution on both sides of the ball and not make those silly mistakes that we made that kind of gave them back that 13-point lead there late in the second quarter.
So last week, now in the first half this week, we made mention that this is a young football team, the Yeomen are. You just also reminded our listeners that you got 6 sophomores starting on the defensive 11. So we're seeing mistakes. A lot of these things though are correctable. But what's the to get with these kids on fixing what are correctable, easy to fix mistakes? I mean, they're young. Is it just an experience thing?
Well, it is. A big part of it is the experience. A big part of it is that maturity that I mentioned a second ago. Just the physical maturity of being older. You can't teach that. You can't teach them to be more physically mature. You can't teach them to be older, to be more
faster,
physically developed. Yeah. But we, like I said, we've made some adjustments defensively, I feel like, and so we just have to continue to do that. And the other thing is you can't simulate it in practice. The in-game speed at which Belleville runs their offense, because even if you're running against your second teamers or your guys that aren't that are running the scout team and stuff, it's just that's not the offense we run. That's not where our knowledge lies. It's just extremely difficult to simulate in practice, and so it takes some real game time to be able to adjust to that. And again, I think we proved that in the second quarter. We came out in the first quarter and defensively we didn't look real good. They were kind of having their way with us. But in the second quarter we really stiffened up, and so outside of that play there at the end, to give them where they were able to re-extend the lead there, we really played pretty well there for a while defensively. And so I think we're starting to catch up a little bit with the speed of the game. We just have to continue to do so.
So 55 points have been scored here in the first half. Got the double nickel up there. That's a high-scoring affair, and we're only halfway through the ball game. If I'd have told you 55 points are going to be scored in a ball game, what would you have said? Final score or halftime score?
It wouldn't have shocked me at all for 55 at the half, to be totally honest with you. The Yeoman offense is usually pretty potent, and we've got some outstanding playmakers on our offense. Knew that this Belleville Brahma team was going to be really good, so honestly, I'm not surprised at on points scored in the first half.
It's been a ton. All right, let's take our final break here on the Germania Halftime Report. We'll come back. Let's see if we can pull up some scores. You want to do that?
Sure.
All right, we're back in just a moment here on the Germania Halftime Report.
It's a trust as true as Texas, a friend with a helping hand, when you want to ensure the good things in life. Trust Germania.
Are you comparing apples to apples on your insurance coverage?
Apples to apples?
Yeah, like making sure you have a great rate and outstanding coverage.
My company says they have the lowest rates, but I'm not sure about coverage.
How about service? When you're shopping for property insurance, do you compare coverage, service, and price to make sure you're getting the most for your money?
I never thought to ask.
Well, Germania Insurance has been insuring Texans for over 100 years.
I do need to do some comparing.
Just make sure you're comparing apples to apples with the right coverage and outstanding rates for property, auto, and your family.
So when you want to ensure the good things in life, trust Germania.
Call 697-4683 for Sharon Ruback, representative of Ruback Insurance and Germania Farm Mutual Companies.
Hey, welcome back here as we continue on the Germania Halftime Report here tonight. And let's see what we can do when we come up with some scores here. What you got? You got a...
Oh, let me pull that back up. I'm sorry. I was looking at the ratings there to see exactly where Belleville was ranked. They're ranked 18th in Class 4A Division II. So here we go. All right. Got Glen Rose over Gatesville in the third quarter, 41-29. We've got Snook leading Thorndale 7-6 in the fourth quarter. Snook's come a long way for a program that didn't have football.
That's number 10 ranked Thorndale, too.
Yeah. West, who the Yeomen have played a few times in some playoffs, is up on Western Hills, 31-0 in the in the second quarter. China Spring, with a huge offensive output last week, only leads 14-0 over Lorena, one of our district opponents, with 8 seconds to go in the second quarter. Brock, a team that we've seen before, is up 39-0 over Community with about 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Mahia, who the Yeomen played last week, trails Troy with 12 minutes to go in the second quarter, 14-6. I think that game got started even later than we did due to the weather. Huge game in the Waco area this week. Waco Conley leading Waco La Vega 10-7. Yeah.
In La Vega.
Yeah, in La Vega with 11 minutes to go still in the third quarter. So still a lot of football left to be played there. But, I always talk about La Vega, man. Those guys, they're not afraid to play anybody. They'll go play the Miami Hurricanes. They'll play the Dallas Cowboys. They don't care. And so for Conley,
talk about another team that's made some major waves. I remember 10 years ago, Connolly was a joke.
Yeah, they were terrible. Yeah,
they're always athletic.
Yes,
but they could never win games.
Yeah, they were always a school that you would see win a state championship and go 4-6, 3-7 in football. Our neighbors here in Milam County, Rockdale leads Taylor 41-14 in the third quarter. Big game for a couple of teams that we know. Grandview leads Salado 14-0 in the third quarter. I really feel like Salado's got a chance to win that ball game, or had a chance to win that ball game. It may be tough for them to come back from 12 or 14 down with their offense, but again, they're a really good team. Marlin leads Milano 9-0 with 8:52 to go in the fourth quarter. That's a little bit of a shocker there, I would say. Our former district opponent Gerald, playing in 4A now, moved up to 4A and is still struggling. They're trailing Fredericksburg, the Battling Billies, 47-8. Lago Vista, who we were supposed to play last week, is able to get on the field this week, and they lead Teague at the start of the fourth quarter, 15-7. Lexington, who I believe the Yeomen have picked up for a game later this season in place of the private school that we were going to play out of San Antonio. I don't think they were able to play us after all. Lexington leads Thrall 28-6. Academy that had a nice opening season, big win last week over Rogers, leads Clifton 17-3 with 11 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Rogers is coming back this week, though. They're up on San Saba 21-14, and that's an outstanding San Saba team. They're ranked number 5 in 2A Division 2, so a little bit smaller school, but that's a big score there by Rogers there to lead them 21-14, almost towards the end of the fourth quarter. Refugio, who we've played before, leads George West 34-12. Rosebud Lot, which is riding over a 10-game losing streak. Looks like they're on their way maybe to get their first win in a while. They're up 25-13 over Wortham with 7:35 left in the third quarter. Bremond leads Axtell 38-20 at the half.
A couple more.
Mart Panthers lead McGregor, District Foe, 29-7, and Holland leads Bosqueville 38-13 at the half.
All right, there's some halftime scores for you. We're just a couple of minutes away from kickoff, or at least from the end of our first, or from our halftime report here anyway. So let's close that out. We'll come back and get ready for the second half kickoff here in just a moment here on 105 The Ranch.
Game nights on KMIL during Cameron Yoe football. The second half of tonight's game is next.
All right, welcome back out of the Germania halftime report as we get ready for our second half. Just about a minute and a half or so until we get there. And the Yeomen have Retaking the field. Bellville getting ready to get inside there. I don't even know what you call that. A blow-up. Half cover.
That's a big run through right there.
It is a big one.
I mean, it goes halfway up our goalpost.
That's some serious tonnage right there.
That's some impressive. That's got to take a couple of compressors to get enough air into that thing.
You'd think so. Yeoman trailing 34-21 as we get ready to start our second half of football here tonight. By the way, also need to check in on our third quarter sponsor, which of course is brought to you by Echo in Texas and the Galvan family, and they have now turned into our third quarter touchdown sponsor giveaway. That means you will have a chance to win some free food from Echo in Texas.
You said you. Are you talking to me, Brett? Or
no, not you.
I'm still not eligible this week again.
You are not eligible. Josh McLaren is the name that we have drawn. So Josh McLaren, if the Yeoman can score a touchdown here in this third quarter, you'll win a plate of barbecue from Echo in Texas. Of course, if they do score, we'll draw another name. That's some good barbecue, by the way.
Yes, it is. That's some outstanding barbecue. And again, I think I said it last week. I can't say their name, but I can sure eat their food.
Yeah. Open Thursday through Saturday. They set up over in the Arlen's parking lot so that you can get top-notch barbecue right here in town. And if you've not made the trek over there to their food truck, you don't know what you are missing.
That stuff will melt in your mouth.
It is some extremely yummy barbecue. As we are preparing now for our second half kickoff, brought to you by Little River Event Center. The Yeoman will be kicking away as they will be trailing by 2 scores to start our second half. Tell you what, Bellville brought the smoke machine too.
Yeah, they did. It's lingering.
So, our second half kickoff just about to get underway, and I think we've got some drizzle, some rain falling. All the umbrellas are coming out.
Yeah, the umbrellas are popping out.
Second half will be wet to start. Here's our second half kickoff, brought to you by Little River. It's outside of Cameron. It's going to be on the ground. That'll be fielded at the 35, and he immediately slips down and goes down. And that's where Bellville will start at their own 35-yard line. And that worked precisely.
Yeah, that's not a bad play for the Yeoman right there, keeping the ball out of those good return men hands.
As special teams has definitely been a surprise. They've got some excellent guys that can run the football once they get it in their hands. Just underway here in our third quarter, brought to you by Echo in Texas. Again, the rain starting to fall here at Yoe Field here tonight. We've already seen 1.5 inches of rain. We've seen some slips once in a while, but for the most part, been a pretty clean football game. Bravo's come out, one receiver to the left, moving from right to left on the radio dial. And it's an immediate handoff to the fullback. He's got lots of running room up across the 45 midfield, and then we'll meet a couple of defenders and brought down at the Yoe 45-yard line.
Yeah, kind of a belly play there where they pull in the guard, getting a kick out, block down and a kick out, and nice little gap there for the Belleville running back.
And that was Richard Reese on the carry. So with 11:45 to go here in this third quarter, Belleville with a 1st and 10 and on the move, leading by 2 scores, 34-21. Bravos come to the line from the 45-yard line. No defense looking to stiff it up. They break through the line, but this running back is going to find some running room. Squirts through to the 40-yard line, a 5-yard carry.
Again, kind of an isolation lead play there where they're pulling a couple of linemen around the side there. And big offensive lineman in the back's just getting behind them and following them. And there's some nice yardage there for Belleville.
So a 2nd down and 5 now for the Brahmins from the 40-yard line. Actually, looks like that's about the 39. Inside 11 minutes left in this third quarter. Coming to the line and under center. A handoff. Trying to come around the left side on that handoff. Breaks through the first tackler, but then met a wall, and he'll lose a yard. Back to the 40-yard line.
Really nice job by Eduardo Gill there, getting some penetration, keeping their offensive lineman from being able to pull, and then being able to reach out and grab the ankle of the runner and hold on and just drag him down for no gain at all.
So a 3rd and 5 here for the Brahmas. See what they decide to do here. They'll send a wide receiver off to the left side. They've got another one over there, too. And now he's going to come across the formation, and he'll be sent out to the far side of the field. It's going to be a handoff, though, off the middle, and he is off to the races, breaking away without being touched, and he is easily going to coast into the end zone. A 40-yard touchdown run, and Belleville extends the lead here early in the third quarter.
Again, we kind of had the line of scrimmage crowded there, and then they motioned the guy wide, took another defender out of the play, and really whenever the guy busted the line of scrimmage, we really didn't have anybody there to stop him.
So 40-21 is the new score here at Yoe Field, as Belleville tries for the extra point. That kick is up and good. It's 41-21 here at Yoe Field. The Yeomen now trailing by 20 points. A 3-score game. 9:58 on the clock here in the Etcho, Texas third quarter. You're listening to Yoe Football here on 105 on the Ranch.
At Standards Home Health, they believe that you deserve compassionate, honest, and reliable care from only the finest healthcare professionals. Call the professionals at Standards Home Health to find out more about home health services. You have a choice when it comes to choosing a home health provider. Choose the provider that has raised the standards in home health care across the state of Texas. Standards Home Health and Hospice. 1-888-671-7007. 1-888-671-7007.
Back here at Yoe Field here in the Etcho, Texas third quarter. It's our touchdown quarter. Yeomen will now have their first offensive possession of the second half as Bellville away after the 40-yard touchdown run extended their lead to 41-21 over the Yeomen here. 9:58 on the clock as Bellville prepares to kick off. As just a clean run on that last touchdown run by the Brahmas. Not even sure he was touched.
Yeah,
it didn't look like it.
He hit that pretty quick.
So Belleville to kick away here, leading by 3 scores. And they'll have an angled kick. That's fielded and just shy of the 20-yard line. A Filka handoff, and now up across the 35, the 40. He's got no one to beat. The 40, the 30, the 20. The 10-5 touchdown. Yeoman on the kickoff return.
Pharrell Hemphill, he faked the reverse, and instead of trying to get wide, he found a seam up the middle, and he just cut it up, and he had one man to beat, and just turned on the jets and outblew him.
Track star speed. He thought Zachorian Spikes had track star speed. You forgot about the other guy.
Yeah. That's the thing is, Zachorian, as fast as he is, he's not the only fast guy we got.
So a kickoff return of 80 yards by Hemphill. And that's one way to answer, and that also gives away some barbecue from Etcho in Texas. Now we're trying for the Prior Collision extra point. There's the kick. That's up and good. Prior Collision extra point is good. And the Yeomen have made it a 2-score game again, 41-28. There's 9:45 on the clock. You're listening to the Etcho in Texas third quarter here on the Ranch.
At Milam County Livestock Auction, our goal is to provide the best market environment for both buyers and sellers. Located in Cameron, we're right in the heart of Central Texas, which allows us to service customers from all over the state. I'm Carson Mingus, and I invite you to join our team every Friday at noon for our weekly sale. You can reach us at 254-697-6697. Check us out on Facebook or at MilamCountyLivestockAuction.com. We look forward to seeing you this Friday at Milam County Livestock Auction. Sale starts at noon.
Now drawing another name now after Josh McLaren has won, and Shannon Lewis is our next contestant for some barbecue. It's a 3-meat plate from Etcho in Texas, so Josh McLaren will have his 3-meat plate ready to go. Of course, we'll have that coupon for that at the KMIL studio next week. But Shannon Lewis, our next contestant for a 3-meat plate to Etcho in Texas. Proud to have them as a sponsor and the touchdown quarter sponsor. So a 3-meat plate given away already. We'll see if we can give away some more. 9:45 on the clock. Yeoman will kick it off here. That is a line drive kick right into the belly of the receiver at the 40-yard line. And, I mean, he got that one like a bullet. I believe that was
number 9.
Well, I think that was Nelson Goodstuen, I'm going to guess. Udstuen.
I don't have the roster, so I can honestly plead the fifth on that one.
Yeah, that's probably smart. And it looks like we've got a penalty against the Yeoman here.
Yeah, illegal procedure. We were offsides again on that kick.
Now Belleville, I think, is going to take it after a 5-yard penalty, so they'll have it near midfield, 49-yard line of their own. From their own 49. 9:42 on the clock. A 41-28 ball game here in the third quarter. Belleville comes to the line. Moving from right to left. Try the trap play here. Yeoman were in the backfield with the runner, but he's able to claw his way forward back to the line of scrimmage.
And I'm telling you, I think they made Eduardo Gill mad on that last play where they scored that touchdown because he blew up about 6 guys on that play right there.
Inside 9 minutes and 20 seconds left here in this third quarter. Yeoman trailing 41-28. Belleville with 2 receivers off to the far side of the field. That's the right side for the quarterback, Lishka. His under center lost the football, has to pick it up, and then he is going to be smothered in the backfield for a huge loss. Actually, they're only going to mark him for a yard.
Yeah, forward progress. 1-yard loss there. He fumbled the snap, was able to pick it up and just tried to run it around the end to save the play as much as he could. But nice job there by Colton Barbo getting him into the grass and then just driving him backwards from there.
So a third down now coming up for Belleville, and it's 3rd and long. Not somewhere you want to be as a slot T team, but this is not your usual slot T. We've seen them line up in the shotgun. We've seen them line up with 3 wide receivers.
They're going to be up against the clock getting this play off here, down to 4 seconds on the play clock.
Inside 3, 2. And just at the 0, they are able to get this one off. Looking to throw is Lishka, and that ball nearly picked off by the safety.
Man, our safety Fabian Bynum there, he read that play perfectly, and he was there to make the play, and the ball just slipped right through his hands.
That was a tough one. The Yeoman could have definitely used that turnover, but they will get somewhat of a reprieve because a 4th down is coming up. Meanwhile, the Yeoman have a man down, and I think
it's Eduardo Gill. Yeah,
he'll be all right.
I don't know if he had a cramp or somebody fell on his leg there, but man, he had a great push. He was really pressuring the quarterback on that pass play right there too.
Well, 4th down coming up for Belleville. They're going to come out in the punt formation. There's 8 minutes, 13 seconds to go. And
really nice job by the Yoe defense of stiffening up and responding to that first score there in that second possession.
2 deep for the Yeoman now, both around the 15-yard line. Belleville preparing to punt it away on 4th down. And they will get this one away. It's going to be a high, short punt. And the Yeoman try to get away from it. It takes a couple of bounces, and then a Belleville roll for a couple of yards. It'll be down to the 26-yard line, it looks like. So the defensive stand, and that's what we needed. Trailing 41-28, 8:03 on the clock. Here in this third quarter.
Be nice to get another little drive going here and get Shannon Lewis some barbecue.
Well, the Yeoman, of course, returned a kickoff, 80 yards for a touchdown. And now we'll have their first offensive possession. Zeinert lines up in a 4 wide receiver set. He's got 3 to his right, 1 to his left. Instead, it's going to be a direct handoff to the tailback, and he's going to come around the right side on a long run, and eventually, the ball comes out, it looks like.
Yeah, Fabian Bynum with a nice little gain on that play, but he's got to do a better job of securing the ball as he's starting to receive the contact and getting ready to go down. Fumbled the ball, but they rolled him down.
The Yeoman will have that football just shy of the 35-yard line. From their own 35. Actually, I think he knows the ball is at the 35, so just a yard shy of the first down marker. Three receivers out to the left for Zeinert. He's going to hand it off again. Up the middle he goes, and he's got some running room there. Picks up about 7 yards.
That's the bruising back Johnson there with a nice little fold block on the inside by number 74, Colby Arney there from his tackle position, leading the way.
A Centex Auto first down for the Yeomen. Gives them a new set of downs from their own 42-yard line. Twin receivers to each side from the near hash mark. About 7 minutes left here in this third quarter. Zeinert looking to throw. Lets it fly. He's got to be caught on a little screen pass. That little bubble screen that Nicorian Spikes will pick up about 10 yards with, nearly.
Yeah, a little tunnel screen to pick up 9.5 yards. Outstanding execution there. Zane threw it right in front of Zakorian where he had to step forward and was able to get his momentum going forward and slip a couple tackles before being forced out of bounds.
They will give them the first down, so the Yeomen get another Centex Auto first down. They're on the Belleville side of the field from the Belleville 48-yard line. First and 10. Zeinert flanked on either side, but this time we've got flags stopping the play. That'll be against the Yeomen here. So it'll back Cameron up by 5 yards. We'll do first and 15. Clock at just about 6.5 left in this third quarter. Two-back set, one on either side of Zeinert. Single receivers to each side, actually two to the left. High snap here. They'll bring it down and run up the middle for about 3 yards.
Yeah, that high snap really affects the timing of the play there. The running back wants to get the handoff, but he's got to wait for the quarterback to jump up in the air and get it and come back down to be able to hand it off. So that's something we've had some trouble with. We really got to work on.
So a second and 13 inside 6 minutes left. Yeomen trailing 41-28. Three receivers to the left, one to the right. Zeinert looking to his left. He lets one go. That's down the middle of the field. That ball is knocked away from an intended receiver. I believe that was Spikes.
Yeah, they had him basically triple covered there. Shame of the matter is that if Zane would have thrown it a little bit further, Zakorian actually had all three of those guys beat deep.
Yep.
Zane just underthrew it just about a half a yard there.
So an incomplete pass is what it'll go down as, and a third down coming up for the Yeomen. Looking to get the offense moving here. Twin receivers to each side. Zeinert surveys the field. And now looks to throw. To his right. Now steps up in the pocket, scrambling around to his left. He's going to take off running. Cross midfield to the 45 and just shy of the 40-yard line. And that's not going to be enough for a first down. We'll mark him at the 41 of Belleville. Going to need about 3 yards shy.
Looks like Yoe offense staying on the field, going to go for it here.
Coming up on 5 minutes and 20 seconds left in the Etcho and Texas third quarter. Yeomen trailing 41-28, but on the move on the Belleville side of the football field. Two receivers off to the left for Zeinert, one to the right. That's a handoff. And he's got plenty of running room. Now going to come around to the right side across the 30. There's the 20. He's got one man to beat, the 10, the 5, touchdown, Yeomen.
Kind of a nice little delayed handoff to Bynum there. Broke it out. The play was really designed to go to the left, but it was kind of a nice little crease over the right-hand side, and Zakorian Spikes got just enough rub on the corner out there that Bynum was able to sneak it into the end zone.
So the 41-34 is the new score, and now your Crier Collision extra point is coming up. And we've got flags coming in.
Belleville shifts their defensive line quite a bit, and when they do, they've drawn us offsides several times tonight whenever they do that.
Or at least false start, yeah. Just inside of 5 minutes to go here in the third quarter as we'll try an extra point from a little further away. 41-34 is the current score. Yeomen will get the kickoff, and that one is good. So 41-35, back to a one-score game. 4:58 on the clock, and we just gave away another 3-meet play to Etcho in Texas. How about that? Way to go, Shannon Lewis. And we'll draw another name. Suzanne Gellner. Suzanne Gellner will be our next contestant, but Yeoman have found some offense here in the second half. A kickoff return. And, of course, that last series as well.
And I'm not exactly sure what our stats are, but I feel like we're able to run the ball and throw the ball both, being very balanced, which is outstanding. You know, it's what you want to be going forward. We just have to, has to continue to stiffen up here and give us a chance to win the ball game.
Don's Paint Body scoring drive was 7 plays, 74 yards. It ends on a 41-yard run by Fabian Bynum, and that is from Don's Paint. 20 years of experience and specializing in taking dents out of accidents. Give a call, 697-2011. Let me get a McElrath Motors stat update as well. Where are we at here with our rushing? I've got Fabian Bynum, 8 carries, 108 yards, 2 touchdowns. Zachorian Spikes, 5 catches for 91 yards, and he's got a touchdown. And there's your stat update. That one comes in from our friends at McElrath Motors in Cameron. Call Ned or Joey, 697-4655. Let them find the perfect vehicle for you, because that is their goal in life. They are the good folks over at McElrath Motors. Here's the kickoff by the Yeoman. That is going to be on the ground, and they are going to field that. And that will prevent any sort of return. I think I kind of like what they're doing here on that.
Yeah, that's not a bad plan with those Belleville return guys that they've got back there at all.
A one-score ball game. Just under 5 minutes left here in the third quarter. Belleville will take over from their own 33-yard line. Brahmas come to the line with one receiver split out to the left. They're going to send a man out in motion to the right and then hand off to the fullback. And he's got some running room now to the right side. Over towards his own team's sideline, and he has got a ton of running room. Down the sideline he goes, and he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Belleville.
Exact same play that they ran, that they scored on their that first drive of the second half, where they line it up and they're putting a guy in motion to widen out the defense and just running a trap play right up the gut. And that back he's really special.
A 67-yard run extends the Belleville lead. That is Richard Reese, 14 carries, 264 yards. That's 5 touchdowns. 5 touchdown runs. Extra point.
What'd you say his name was? John Heisman?
Yeah.
Golly.
Extra point is good by Belleville. And it's now 48-35. Back to a 2-score lead for the Brahmas. 4:46 on the clock. You're listening to Yo Football at 105 on the Ranch.
Hi, I'm Jason Donald with Edco Development. At Edco Development, we want to help you plan for the future. If you have plans for a new office space, residential construction, or a total remodel, Edco Development is ready to give you a free estimate to help you make plans for that future project now. Edco Development provides complete commercial and residential construction and roofing. So give us a call first at 254-697-2186. 697-2186. Edco Development. Let's see what we can build together.
All right, welcome back here as we continue on in the Etcho in Texas third quarter. 4:46 on the clock as it was Richard Reese, 264 yards rushing for Belleville, 5 touchdowns. That was him, but went 67 yards on the last. Extended the Belleville lead to 2 scores once again. Yeoman now trying to play catch-up here.
That guy's really, the Yeoman defense have got to get somebody in the middle of the field to slow that attack down.
And so 48-35 is the score as Belleville will prepare to kick off to the Yeoman here.
See if Lightning can strike twice here. Last time they ran a long, quick touchdown like that, we returned it for a touchdown. So let's see if we can pay them back again.
It's going to be a short kick. The Yeoman have to fall back and catch that one. They will to keep possession. Looks like they'll have the football at their own 43-yard line.
Nice job by Dominic Rangel, who's actually one of the front line guys there, retreating about 3 or 4 yards, calling the fair catch and making it there.
Rains have gone away here at Yoe Field. We had seen the umbrellas break out when we started this second half, but all put away again. 4:46 on the clock. Yoe offense goes back to work here, trailing by 2 scores. From their own 43-yard line. Twin receivers to the right for Zeinert. He's got one man to the left. And they're going to hand that ball off up the middle. He goes, and a little delay, but still enough for 5 yards.
It's a little delay handoff to bind him up the middle, or execute a little fold block between the guard and the tackle.
Inside 4.5 to go here before we start the fourth quarter. 48-35 is the score. Ton of points scored in this one. We still got plenty of time left to go. 3 receivers off to the left side, 1 to the right. As Zeinert takes a snap, looks to his right. He's going to fire this one that way, and he overthrew his man as Spikes got at least a hand on it, but couldn't get the other one up.
Yeah, and really nice little out pattern there by Zakorian. Zane just threw it a little bit high.
It's going to bring out 4th down. Actually, I think it's 3rd down, isn't it?
Yeah.
So 3rd down. And 4 to go. A direct snap to the tailback, but he is going to be caught in the backfield and nowhere to go.
I'm not sure if that was a direct snap or just the snap was just a little bit wide there.
As he would go backwards on that 3rd down play, that will bring up 4th down. Yoe get no momentum there on the Bynum carry. And coming up on 3.5 minutes before the end of the 3rd quarter, Zeinert backs up to punt, and he'll get a punt. That's a good one. Driving the return man back to the 10-yard line. That's where he'll catch that. And then Stutter steps around, and now he's got some room in front of him. The 20. There's the 30. Finally hits a wall, and that's where he will go down just shy of the 30-yard line at the 27.
That's the problem whenever you punt out of your offensive set right there. It's hard for them to set up a return because they don't know if you're going to punt it or not. But that means your big offensive linemen have to go down and cover that punt as well, which is difficult for those guys to do.
So 3:18 on the clock. Bellville comes back out on the field on offense. 48-35 is the score. From the 27-yard line, Belleville comes out on 1st and 10. They'll send a man in motion, and it's going to be to the fullback, and that little belly play is going nowhere.
Yeah, they ran that little inside trap. Same play that they scored on those last 2 touchdowns, except for they ran a little bit different formation that time, and Yeoman just really wrapped him up quick for no gain.
Less than 3 minutes left in the quarter.
I have to say, I don't blame Coach Rowe, though. If I was him, I'd run that same play over and over again, too, until somebody stopped it.
Ought to be nursing clock here, moving forward as we inch closer to that 4th quarter. Another handoff here. This one to the up back, and he is going to be driven back, but he'll get forward progress for, 4 yards.
Yeah, just kind of a straight dive play there. Made forward progress, got him a few yards, but he sure paid for it at the end there.
So a 3rd down now coming up for Belleville.
Both Barbo and Solomon and a host of other Yeoman in just dragging him backwards there.
Coming up on 2 minutes left in the quarter. Yeoman trailing by 2 scores. A man in motion for Belleville. They'll pitch to that man. Now he's running around the corner, and he will have enough for a 1st down, but I saw a flag on the play.
Yeah, just a little dive option play there, or veer type option play there, but holding in the backfield, and so that'll get the Brahmas back up.
So that will negate a 1st down run, and that will help the Yeoman. 1:58 on the clock after the penalty. Belleville's going to be backed up to a back to the 27-yard line. So 3rd down and 15.
You would definitely think this would put them in a passing situation here.
Clock starts running again.
Be a nice time for the Yeomen maybe pick one off.
One man alone to the right for Belleville. They come under center, send a man in motion to make it 2 to the right. It's going to be a handoff, though. And he's looking for some running room. He's got enough to get back to the line of scrimmage, and then he's going to be smothered at the 30-yard line. So that will bring up a 4th down for Belleville.
And, you know, you would think that they're in a passing down there, but as well as that young man's run the ball here, you sure don't blame their coach for giving him one more shot at it right there in 3rd and long.
And a 2-score lead, 48-35. Belleville out in front. Exactly a minute to go. Less than a minute now. Yeomen trying to run a man on late. They do. As the snap comes out, and here's the punt. That'll be a fairly nice punt. That'll be caught at the 40-yard line, trying to find a sideline up across to midfield. That is where he'll go out of bounds on the carry there, on the catch and run by Farrell Hemphill.
Such a line drive kick, he didn't really have any chance to get any blocking set up there.
Just 42.6 seconds left here in this Etcho in Texas 3rd quarter. Yeomen trailing by 2 scores. Already given away 2 3-meat barbecue plates.
Not trying to drive them out of business, but I'd sure like to see the Yeomen score one more time here in the 3rd quarter.
You would like that. It would be a good thing for the Yeomen fans. The faithful waiting. 3 receivers off the right side for Zeinert, who's looking to throw. He's going to go to that right, and that ball was read beautifully by Belleville. They went and tipped that one away on a bubble screen intended for Zachorian Spikes.
Yeah, they tried to run that tunnel screen again to Zachorian, and safety there read it perfectly, and I tell you, he was about 1 step away from taking that to the house for 6 points himself. I've seen us run it before where we've kind of slipped that and snuck a guy in behind them there. Might be nice to see us try that one time.
So 39.4 seconds are what is left. 2nd down and 10 for the Yeomen. Twin receivers for either side is Zeinert. Going to hand this ball off, trying to find some running room to the right side, but he's got nowhere to go. About 4 white jerseys surround him and bring him down. And in fact, came out with a football. That is a turnover.
I can't believe they're calling that a strip and not down by forward progress there.
So a takeaway by Belleville will give the Brahmas the football offensively at the Yoe 45-yard line.
Bynum's had some really nice runs tonight, but I tell you, that's one thing that I would like to see that young man do, is do a better job of securing the football whenever he some contact.
So 29.5 seconds still to go in this Etcho in Texas 3rd quarter. And it's Belleville football up by 2 scores, 48-35.
I might have to put up a little bigger fight about that if I was Coach Brashear.
1st and 10 from the Yoe 45. They'll send a man in motion. Handoff to the fullback, and he is going to rumble ahead across the 40 to the 35, and they get the 33.
The big Brahma offensive line is really going to work with on us.
Less than 20 seconds left here in the quarter. Less than 10 seconds, and they may just let this one run out. There's about a 10-second gap in the game clock and the play clock.
Yeah, their coaches are moving down to the other end of the field, so it looks like they're content to let it run out.
And that's what they'll do, so we will start our 4th quarter. Yeomen trailing 48-35 as we head to the 4th quarter, brought to you by the Yoe Athletic Booster Club. We're back in a moment. This is Yoe Football at 105 on the Ranch.
Denio's Furniture, Flooring, and Fireplaces offers the best selection on name-brand furniture like Lazy Boy recliners, sofas and love seats, Simmons mattresses, Mohawk and Shaw flooring, and Fireplace Extraordinaire fireplaces. If you haven't been to Denio's lately, visit their showroom on Highway 77, 1 mile north of Cameron. New inventory arriving daily. Denio's, your best choice for furniture and flooring in Milam County. Denio's Furniture, Flooring, and Fireplaces. Proud to support Yeoman Athletics, a winning tradition.
start of our fourth quarter here tonight, brought to you by the Yoe Athletic Booster Club. Yeah, they have, of course, always supported the Cameron Yoe on and off the field, and you can become a member yourself. Join the Booster Club. They meet Mondays at 7 p.m. at the Yoe Highfield House.
Yeah, and I think right now they're still meeting at the country club due to the COVID restrictions. They're not able to have those type of meetings on campus facilities. So no meeting this coming Monday due to the Labor Day holiday. So next meeting will be on, I guess, the 14th.
I believe so. So a 2-score lead for Bellville. They have the football. And it's on the Yoe side of the field. Up 48-35 as we start the Yoe Athletic Booster Club fourth quarter. And it's a handoff here, coming around the right side, moving from left to right as Bellville has it, and he'll be brought down at the 26-yard line.
They faked that inside handoff that they've been hurting us with so bad and brought a guy around the edge, and so we really had to kind of man up for the inside, and so they were able to kind of get a little more on the outside than we wanted to allow them.
As a 7-yard carry, so second down and 3 for the Brahmas here on the near hash mark. And he's looking to throw after faking the handoff. He's trying for the post play, and he overthrew his man. It looked like he went through his hands.
That's a typical type pass you see out of a slot T team, where they fake their handoff inside and that tight end blocks down and then releases outside. And he was trying to hit him on the flag pattern there, but nice coverage by the Yoe defender.
And now we've got a man down. That is a Yeoman who is on the turf, so we will have an injury timeout for a moment. But Yeoman have shown some fight here, but still making some mistakes that have cost them.
Yeah, definitely. We've got to play a little more disciplined. The penalties on offense and the high snaps and the fumbled exchange, fumble snaps, those sort of things really hindered our offense. And then our defense, at times has played really well, but they've been on the field a lot of plays tonight. I'm not sure how many plays Belleville's run, but our defense, they've seen a lot of action tonight.
11:21 on the clock. Yeoman down by 2 scores. We are in an injury timeout. So Yeoman is down at about the 10-yard line. Let's take a 30-second timeout. We'll be back in just a moment.
In sports, as in cars, everyone loves a great drive. Centex Auto is dedicated to bringing you a great drive every single time you get in the car. Whether you're listening to the game or you're behind the wheel, when you need a car, go to the Buy Here, Pay Here dealer, Centex Auto. Check out both locations in Temple or visit them online at centex-auto.com. As you listen in on this great drive, remember that Centex Auto is a proud supporter of all Central Texas athletes.
Back here at Yoe Field in our Cameron home opener. Yeoman trailing, though, by 2 scores, 48-35. 11:21 on the clock. Bell football facing a 3rd down and 3. Coming out of the injury timeout, Belleville will send a man in motion and handing off to the fullback, and he is going to try to spin out of a tackle. He does, and he's going to get to the 20-yard line before he goes out of bounds.
Man, Trent Nix had him in the backfield for no. And that guy is just so good. He's able to just kind of break away from him.
So it's enough for a 1st down. They get to the 20-yard line. And now handoff around the left side. And he's got plenty of running room, too. Picks up nice big yardage, and he gets inside the 10-yard line.
Kind of pulling those linemen in their full block and just getting in and following them.
And running in the hurry up here. Handoff and dives for the end zone. But he's going to be a couple of yards short. Looked like he took a massive leap, but just couldn't. Had some folks to drag along.
We got 2 Yeomen down on this play. That's not good.
2 players down this time. We'll step away as well. We're back in 30 seconds. This is Yoe Football on 105 on the Ranch.
Legacy Nursing and Rehabilitation, located at 2202 North Travis in Cameron, is proud to back the Fighting Cameron Yeomen in 2020. Good luck to all Yoe and Lady Yoe athletes, trainers, coaches, cheerleaders, Bell Brigade, and that award-winning Yoe High Band. Most people have a story to tell. Yo Nation has a legend. Legacy Nursing and Rehabilitation is proud to say,
Well, just one player now on the turf as we return from the injury timeout.
And it looks like another cramp situation with the young man there, the way he's being stretched.
Just under 11 minutes to go in this ball game. Belleville is threatening here deep in Yo territory. Brahma's up 48-35 in this ball game. Yeoman still have some time to put some points on the board, though. Plenty of time still in this ball game.
Really need to try to hold the Brahmas out here.
10:53 to go. Belleville with the football at the 3-yard line. Coming to the line. And lost the football.
Fumble exchange between the quarterback and the center.
I think
they were
Belleville
able to
has
fall
recovered.
on it. Yeah, they were able to fall on it. That's the type of opportunity we need right there to, come away with the ball and keep them out of the end zone.
Hill from the 2-yard line now. A 3rd and goal at the 2 for Belleville. Leading 48-35. Under center is Leshka. Hands off. And he will bulldoze his way into the end zone. Touchdown, Belleville.
I tell you, that was just a tough run right there. I mean, the Yeoman defense really got after him, but he just kind of kept his feet and kept bruising his way into the end zone.
Or did we have a penalty? Haven't seen a kicker come on.
Surely they're not going for. I mean,
A kicker did not come on.
No, it
is 54.
Yeah.
So the touchdown did count, and they are going to go for 2 from the shotgun. Looking to roll. Now they're going to try the reverse. And then he's going to throw to a man wide open in the end zone, but incomplete on the trickery.
Not real sure why you'd want to run that there up by 19. Unless you just wanted to make sure you gave your next several weeks' opponents something to look at to make sure that they spent some time working on.
A failed 2-point conversion makes it 54-35. That's where things stand. 10:07 to go in this ball game. We're back in just a moment here on the Ranch.
It's your home away from home. The Budget Host Inn and Suites. Cable TV with flat screen LCD HD TV in each room. Guest laundry, fitness center, and pool. The Southern hospitality at Budget Host Inn and Suites shows through. They can accommodate your next business meeting in their meeting room and business center. Romantic getaway? Book a jacuzzi suite. So if it's a business trip, romantic getaway, or you just need a place to stay for the night, the Budget Host Inn and Suites in Cameron has a room for you. 102 Lafferty Avenue. Call 254-605-0610. BudgetHostCameron.com.
Welcome back to Yo Field. Yeoman now trailing 54-35. 10:07 on the clock. That's all that's left in this ball game. Belleville set to kick away right now. Yeoman back to receive and needing some points on the board.
Needing them fast.
Kickoff coming up, and they'll send it short. That'll be fielded at the 36-yard line, and that's where the Yeoman will be taking over.
Yeah, the sophomore Armando Reyes signaled for a fair catch there and made it. I kind of wish he would have just made the catch and see how many yards he might be able to get.
And they marked him at the... Well, he was definitely in front of the 35, but that's where they're going to mark him. He took a knee at the 36.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
So they'll put it at the 35. 10:06 on the clock. 1st and 10 for the Yeoman. Moving right to left on the radio dial. There's 2 receivers here off to the left, plus an up back. Ziner's looking to throw, looking left, and he's going to Send one in the air. That ball is going to be caught over the shoulder catch by Zachorian Spikes, and that's a huge first down by Centex Auto.
Absolutely unbelievable catch by Zachorian.
That looked like a Willie Mays over-the-shoulder catch.
For sure. I mean, yeah, he's made some unbelievable ones, but that one right there was just really special.
That gives him 6 catches for 120 yards. That's a stat update brought to you by McElrath Motors in Cameron. Call Ned or Joey there. Right near the KMIL studios, too. On first down, Zider going to have to scramble out of the way. Instead, he's going to go down for a sack after looking to throw, and that will push the Yeoman back.
Offensive line went with cut blocks there, and Belleville defenders did a good job of evading those and getting to Zeinert and pulling him down.
So second down and a long way to go. 9:34 on the clock. 54-35 is the score. Belleville's out in front. 3 receivers to the right side for Zeinert, 1 alone to the left. Clock is running, and Zeinert sends one off to the left side. That is caught, and then he'll make the first man miss, and then hit out of bounds. But a catch by Pharrell Hemphill.
Thought there might have been a little bit of late hit on that there. Pharrell was all the way outside the white stripe of the coach's box there whenever they drug him down.
9:18 on the clock. The Yeoman now facing third down and 12 from the Belleville 38-yard line. Twin receivers to either side for Zeinert. And whistles will stop this one.
Belleville with the timeout.
Ramos called the timeout. They'll have 2 remaining here in the ball game. 9:16 on the clock. We'll take a timeout with them. We're back in 30 seconds.
Are you or a loved one in need of home health care? Wondering if you qualify for home health services? Call Standards Home Health for a free in-home consultation to evaluate your situation and to select a home health professional to care for you and your needs. And Standards Home Health is covered 100% by Medicare and accepts TRICARE, Scott & White Health Plan, and most major insurances. So don't wait. Get the care you deserve. Call Standards Home Health at 1-888-671-7007, 1-888-671-7007.
Coming out of the timeout, Yeoman trailing 54-35. Cameron has the football at the Belleville 38-yard line. A 3rd and 12 for the Yeoman. This is a critical third down for Cameron.
Yeah, if you're going to have a chance, you really need to get the ball in the end zone here on this drive. Not this play, but on this drive.
So with twin receivers to each side, Zeinert from the shotgun on third down. Takes a snap, looks to his left, and throws. That ball tipped in the hands of a Yeoman, and he will be short of a first down, but still picks up nice yardage and leaves the Yeoman about 3 yards short. Got a 9-yard catch.
Okay, with the catch and run there. Nice job snatching the ball out of the air.
Puts the Yeoman at the 29-yard line. Hitting 4th and about 3. In a shotgun, Zeinert twins to his left, and he hands off. Looking for some running room, spins out of a tackle, and he gets across the 25, and he has enough for a Centex Auto first down.
And that's Bynum with the carry there, following his lead backer Johnson.
Inside 9 minutes to go in the ball game. Yeoman looking for some urgency here. 3 receivers come off to the right side for Zeinert. 1 alone to the left. Throws to his right. That's going to be a quick screen. Looking for some room up across the 20. There's the 10. And he finally goes down.
Just nice little swing pass to Casey Goolsby there. A couple of receivers getting out in front and throwing some blocks for him.
Puts the Yeoman in the Bling Box Boutique red zone. That's the Bling Box Boutique at 111 North Central in downtown Cameron. And be sure to check out their Facebook, too. Plus, that's the go-to headquarters for Yoe gear. Zeinert on first down inside the 10-yard line. Handoff up the middle and no running room, or at least not a lot. He gets to about the 5-yard line. I think that's a 3-yard gain.
Yeah, decent little gain by Johnson there, just getting it and just powering his way through.
Coming up on 8 minutes and 15 seconds left in this ball game. Yeoman trailing 54-35. Second and goal from the 5 coming up. Nearing 8 minutes left. On a second and goal. Twin receivers off to the right, but Zeinert on an option run. And looking for the corner. Dives, and he's inside the 5 to about the 1.
Yeah, I think he's just inside the 1. Just kind of almost like a quarterback sweep type play there over the left side.
So clock continuing to run, nearing 7.5 minutes left. Yeoman at the 1 yard line, looking to punch this in on third and goal. Yeoman trailing 54-35 here in the Yoe Athletic Booster Club fourth quarter. Yeoman from the shotgun at the 1 yard line, and a
false start by the right tackle there.
A penalty against the Cameron Yeoman. Backs them up. So third and goal now from the 6 yard line instead of the 1. Clock continuing to run. Inside 7 minutes, 15 seconds left in the ball game. Yeoman desperately needing to put some points on the board here. Twin receivers to each side. Zeinert from the shotgun. Looks to throw. Looking right, now being chased. Gets out of that one. Then lets one fly into the end zone. The ball is tipped and out of bounds.
So you're very lucky that Zane didn't get sacked there. They came with some hard pressure off the corner there. Good job by him of eluding the tackler and getting a good attempt off on the pass there.
All right, Triska, you going for the field goal, or are you going to go for it?
I got to go for the touchdown here. I mean, down by 19 with 6:55 left to play. You got to go for the 6.
That's what the Yeomen appear to be doing. The offense is still on the field. They are running out of time on the play clock, though, and they're going to have to, I believe, burn a timeout. They do. So a timeout by the Yeomen as they were running out of time. They trail 54-35 with 6:55 on the clock. The Yeomen have got to put some points on the board here. This is a critical juncture in the ball game, Kenny. And what's been working best for the Yeomen right now?
I mean, we've thrown the ball fairly well here in the second half, but I feel like, we've run it really well too. You always have some plays that are kind of some extra point type plays, for stuff that's down around the end zone that you would run, for a 2-point conversion. And we're just a little bit further back, a couple yards further back than a 2-point conversion would be. And so, you should have some set plays for some things like that. So hopefully we've got something in our bag of tricks right here.
Just less than 7 minutes left to go in this ball game.
Do notice we did insert Gill as an offensive line spot in the offensive line here. So that tells me we may be trying to get an extra blocker in there for some run support.
So on 4th down and goal from the Bellville 6 yard line. Yeoman will come to the line. 2 receivers off to the right side. It's a twin back set. Zeinert flanked on either side. And he's looking to throw. Looking for the corner. And that ball is incomplete.
Trying to run that flag pattern that we ran earlier to Goolsby. I think we were trying to run that to Spikes, it looks like there, and just overthrew him just a little bit.
So a turnover on downs inside the 10-yard line. That'll give Belleville back the football. Now having at their own 6, leading 54-35.
You got to think Belleville's going to really put the ball, in that running back's hands here, keep the ball on the ground, try to, run as much clock as they can and get out of here.
Yeah, Richard Reese for Belleville, 20 carries, 302 yards, 6 touchdowns. A handoff here around the right side by Belleville.
And it is Reese.
And he picks up good yardage to the 14-yard line. Coming up on 6.5 minutes left in the ball game. Second and short coming up for the Brahmas here. They come bringing the play call in from the sideline. They're going to milk every bit of this clock, I believe, or if they can.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll get the play clock down under 3 seconds before they snap it.
There'll be another handoff, trying around that left edge this time. And looks to have enough for a first down. They do. Inside of 6 minutes to go here in this ball game. So first and 10 here for the Brahmas from the 17-yard line. A 19-point lead. They get the handoff on it up the middle to get to the 25-yard line. And that's close to a first down as well. And right now, Belleville just gashing the defense for the Yeomen. 8-9 yards at a time.
That big, strong Brahma offensive line has really worn the Yeomen down tonight.
Nearing 5 minutes left in the ball game. It's a 2nd and 1 for Belleville. As they come to the line. And they'll push forward for a couple of yards. Make that 3.
Just a quarterback sneak.
Oh,
at the first down?
At the 30, I think so. At the 30-yard line.
And I thought he was down on his knees and basically did a forward roll and took 2 more steps before we tackled him the second time. And that's when they finally marked him down.
Coming up on 4.5 minutes left in the ball game. First and 10 for Belleville. Another handoff, this one. Looking for the right edge, but he'll go down. And picks up maybe a yard.
Nice job by Fabian Solomon eluding some blockers there, getting in and making the tackle.
Just across the 30 to the 31. Inside of 4 minutes left in the ball game. Belleville has used 3 minutes off the clock to go 20 yards. Masterful use of the clock. Coming to the line here. Inside of 5 seconds on the play clock. They'll hand it off on the fullback, and he is going to break through a couple of tackles at the line of scrimmage and pick up about 5 yards. So Belleville will have it at the 35-yard line. Their own 35, leading 54-35. Clock will be inside 3 minutes by the time they hike this football.
The Yeomen still have 2 timeouts left, but you've got to get them in a long down and distance situation to spin some of those to try to get the ball back.
That's 3rd and 4. Handoff up the middle, and a yard or 2 here could potentially give the Yeomen an opportunity. It's 4th down. The Yeomen have not stopped the clock, however. Inside of 2.5 minutes left in the ball game.
I think Belleville looks like maybe they're going to let the clock run down to 1 or so and call timeout. And, well, they're actually finally running their punt team on here late. Use as much of the play clock as they can.
There'll be near 2 minutes left in the game by the time they get this kickoff. And it will be a good kick. Pushing the receivers back. They drop the football and then fall on it at about their own 14-yard line.
That young man's got one heck of a leg.
It was an excellent kick. So 1:58 is all that's left in this ball game. 1 minute, 58 seconds. Yeoman trailing 54-35. They'll have the football on their own 14-yard line. 86 yards from the end zone. The offense 3 scores behind. Yeoman needing some points in a hurry. 3 receivers to the right side, 1 to the left, and Zinert looks to his left. He sends this one in the air. That ball is caught by Hemphill. Down the sideline he goes. 50, the 40, the 30, the 20, the 10. Touchdown, Yeoman. Burrell Hemphill, 86 yards for the touchdown catch.
Wow. That's all I can say about that, Brett, is wow. Kind of ran what I call a rail route where he tries to leak out and get outside. And the ball was a little bit underthrown, and he just kind of went up and took it away from 2 Belleville defenders and then refused to go down and went the rest of the way.
His second touchdown of the game, first receiving, also had a kickoff return for a touchdown back in the third quarter. So 1:52 on the clock, and it's a 54-41 ball game. Yeoman going to try for 2 here. And it's going to be a quarterback run, and Zinert is dragged down, maybe for a loss of a yard. So a 2-score deficit for the Yeoman with 1:52 on the clock. Defense will have to come up with a stop.
Good chance to see a onside kick attempt by the Yeoman here.
So last possession, Belleville went about 35 yards in 5 minutes.
Yeah. And then punted it about 150 yards.
Yes. Just 2 minutes, well, 1:52 anyway, left in this ball game. Yeoman down by 2 scores here, 54-41. And the Yeoman will be kicking off here. You got to be expecting an onside kick if you are Belleville, right?
Yeah, you would sure think so. I mean, just under 2 minutes to go and the score being what it is, you'd be shocked. Of course, with the rule changes and all, they've made it really, really hard to be able to actually execute an onside kick these days.
So we'll see what the Yeomen do. Trailing 54-41, 1:52 on the clock, preparing to kick to Belleville. Belleville expects to see an onside. Although had 10 players bunched within about 10 yards of the football, and it's going to be on the ground. Takes a hop and go down on a knee to 30 to pick it up, and now he's going to start running. 35, 40, dancing around, spins around the 45, and goes down. It'll be Belleville football at their own 47-yard line.
And unless the Yeomen elect to use some timeouts here, they could just probably kneel this game out.
We will see what happens. 1:43 on the clock. That's all that's left in this ball game. Belleville up 54-41. To the line come the Brahmas. And they'll hand it off. Trying to find the edge. Across midfield. Stops. Breaks through a tackle. Still on his feet. Then goes out of bounds after gaining enough for a first down.
And Fabian Bonham actually stripped the ball on that play there, but when he did, it bounced out of bounds.
Robert Briggs on that carry. By the way, Belleville's going to be good again next year. Most of the names we've been calling tonight, Lishka, Briggs, Reese, juniors, all of them. Minute and a half to go here in the ball game. Handoff right up the middle. And he's got plenty of running room. Up across the 30, sidesteps a tackler, and then is brought down by the two safeties. Takes it all the way to the Yoe 24-yard line.
I guess they aren't content with 54.
Clock is running here in the fourth quarter. 1:20 to go in the ball game. 1st and 10 for Belleville. Now slowing things down a bit. By the time this ball is snapped, it'll be inside of a minute left in the ball game. Now coming to the line. And they will go to the victory formation. The quarterback will take a knee. Lishka does. Less than a minute, less than 50 seconds now. 54-41 will be our final score here at Yoe Field. The home opener for Yeoman will end in disappointment. Coming up on just about 30 seconds left in the ball game.
You know, the good thing is, though, that we saw this slot T offense run much more effectively by a team that was really good at it. So it prepares us for teams like Troy that have a great back on down the road.
Here's your final play of the ball game as the quarterback takes it yet again. And that will do it here from Yoe Field. Yeoman fall in their home opener by a final score 54-41. And that is a tough one for the Yeoman here. Their home opener tonight. We're going to break it all down for you in a moment. Right now, we'll take a timeout. We'll come back. We'll get you some stats. Plus, we'll discuss this one and dissect it. We're back in a moment here on the ranch.
At Milam County Livestock Auction, our goal is to provide the best market environment for both buyers and sellers. Located in Cameron, we're right in the heart of Central Texas, which allows us to service customers from all over the state. I'm Carson Mingus, and I invite you to join our team every Friday at noon for our weekly sale. You can reach us at 254-697-6697. Check us out on Facebook or at MilamCountyLivestockAuction.com. We look forward to seeing you this Friday at Milam County Livestock Auction. Sale starts at noon.
Hi, I'm Jason Donalik from Edco Development. Sure, someone working out of the back of their truck can always offer you a cheaper price, but sometimes they're kind of hard to find after the job is done. Remember, Edco Development has been there for you for more than 25 years, offering quality roofing, remodeling, new construction, and more. Call us first, 254-697-2186. 697-2186.
Tadio's Furniture, Flooring, and Fireplaces offers the best selection on name brand furniture like Lazy Boy recliners, sofas and love seats, Simmons mattresses, Mohawk and Shaw flooring, and Fireplace Extraordinaire fireplaces. If you haven't been to Tadio's lately, visit their showroom on Highway 77, 1 mile north of Cameron. New inventory arriving daily. Tadio's, your best choice for furniture and flooring in Milam County. Tadio's Furniture, Flooring, and Fireplaces. Proud to support Yeoman Athletics, so winning.
Yeoman falling in a final score of 54-41 here tonight, and this one was a tough one for the Yeoman. It was a home opener tonight. Of course, easily were able to swat aside Mejia last week on a very similar offensive scheme, but Belleville came in here as a very physical football team, a very much bigger football team, and a precision football team. They look like it was a team that came out and looked like they had been running their offensive scheme all their lives and hadn't suffered any sort of issues with COVID-19 or not having practice or no scrimmages. They look like a team on a mission.
Yeah, that Belleville team is a really good team that we saw here tonight. Look for them to definitely make some noise in 4A Division II this year. They typically go 3 rounds deep in the playoffs. Wouldn't surprise me to see them go 4, 5, 6 rounds deep this year. Outstanding team, really good defensively. their offense, I mean, is just they've got so many weapons. Whether it's the fullback or the slot backs, that slot T, and then couple that with the ability that they have to be able to throw the ball whenever they need to or want to, as well. Is a very, very good Belleville team we saw here tonight.
Yeah, and here's the other thing. We knew they were big. We knew they were physical coming into this game. But I think, or at least you and I did, underestimated the speed of Belleville.
Yeah, that's something. Sometimes it's hard to determine that on film, and so, yeah, I was not expecting them to be as quick as they were and adept as they were at running their offense. You know that they're good at it. You know that they're proficient with it, but it's so different seeing it live than it is on video.
All right, let's get some numbers from Josh Pratt here real quick, and then we'll bring you back, Kenny. All right, let's welcome back Josh Pratt. Hey, buddy. So let's get some numbers here and put this in perspective.
Yeah, let's start with Belleville here. They finished the night with 22 first downs total. We'll start with their passing. 4 first downs. Most of that yardage came in the first half. They finished 5 for 9 for 78 yards. That was Jake Litchka there with that 1 touchdown on those 78 yards. Now on the ground, they finished with 45 carries for 450 yards. Of course, Mr. Reese finished the game with 25 carries for 343 yards and 6 touchdowns. Robert Briggs also pitched in with 8 carries for 79 yards and 1 touchdown there. For the Yeomen, we have 17 first downs on the night. Passing-wise, 13 for 22 for 283 yards. And that was all done by quarterback Zane Zeinert. On the receiving end, we had Zachorian Spikes finished with 6 receptions for 120 yards. We also had Pharrell Hemphill with 3 catches for 123 yards with that big reception late in the game. Kason Goolsby also came in with 2 catches for 24 yards. And on the ground for the Yeomen, 29 rush attempts for 164 yards. Fabian Bynum had the big night, 11 carries for 115 yards. And Keyshawn Johnson, 7 carries for 33 yards.
All right, Josh Pratt, nice addition to our play-by-play broadcast, I think. He's bringing the stats, bringing the numbers for you, and glad to have him aboard as you'll be hearing a lot more of him, I think, as we move forward. But let's bring you back, Kenny, and let's get into that. Obviously, the big number was the 343 from Richard Freese, the big fullback, tailback, whatever, all-purpose back. For Belleville, 6 touchdowns, huge night for him. But this is Yeomen have tried to always avoid the big play, and that was kind of a bugaboo here tonight because all the trickeration, as much as I hate to use that word, but a lot of misdirection, keeping some eyes focused on things that they shouldn't have been focused on, and before you know it, he takes the ball up the middle and is untouched for 40 yards plus each time.
Yeah, he's got that rare combination of speed and power that you don't see a lot of times, and so he's the perfect guy for that offense, and they get him the ball. They hand it to him so quick. He doesn't line up more than about 2.5 yards off the line of scrimmage, and so he hits the hole so fast, and he's through it before you even know it. And again, the speed and power that he runs with is just phenomenal. He's a really, really good high school football player that I didn't catch what classification he was, but I'd be very shocked to see if he wasn't playing on Saturdays whenever he does finish his high school career.
Yeah, he was impressive. But going back to the Yo side, Cameron just had a tough time with this one tonight. It was as we mentioned, this is a lot of misdirection, a lot of stuff going on. This is a young football team that still has a lot of growing up to do.
Yeah, and that's something else I think probably hurt us tonight was the youth of the Yeomen team, especially on the defensive side of the ball with those 6 sophomores. And again, it's not just the inexperience; it's also the fact that those guys just aren't as physically mature as kids that are juniors and seniors. They're a year to 2 years behind where some of those guys that they're playing against tonight are physically. And so, it's a good learning experience for them, but they're going to have to just continue to work hard and get better.
All right, before we get to our MVP and our play of the game. How about post-game takeaways tonight? Let's get you 3 takeaways from today's game. These takeaways brought to you by Cameron Comprehensive Dentistry in downtown Cameron. What you got?
Yeah, on the offensive side, we've got to clean up the mistakes, the bad snaps, the high snaps, the bad exchange, those type of things, and then we've got to clean up those illegal procedure penalties. We can't have those type of things happen. Those are drive killers. Defensively, we have to adjust to the speed of the offense, no matter what the other team's going to come out with right there, and continue to make plays and get off the field.
All right, so we got that taken care of. There's your post-game takeaways. Let's get to tonight's play of the game. Your play of the game is brought to you by Golden Chick over on Texas 36, US 190 in Cameron. It's the original crispy golden fried chicken place. Tune in on Monday morning on the Rose and Joe Breakfast Club, and if you can identify tonight's play of the game, you'll have a chance to win a gift certificate to Golden Chick in Cameron. What is tonight's play of the game?
That is Pharrell Hemphill with the long touchdown catch there towards the end of the ball game, just because he had such a great effort on that play right there, where really the ball was underthrown. 2 defenders had a chance to make a play on the ball, and he just went and took it away from him, and then kept his balance and refused to be pushed out of bounds, and then just used his speed to take it the rest of the way for the score.
That was an 86-yard touchdown catch by Pharrell Hemphill. Let's get a listen. Sends this one in the air. That ball's caught by Hemphill. Down the sideline he goes. 50, the 40, the 30, the 20, the 10. Touchdown, Yeoman. All right, so remember that for Monday is the Yeoman able to put down a touchdown thanks to Pharrell Hemphill's catch and run. 86 yards. That was the final touchdown of the ball game for the Yeoman. All right, let's move on to an MVP. Your MVP tonight made possible by Henderson Insurance. The good folks, Carolyn Henderson over there, doing some wonderful things for Farmers Insurance. And so who's your MVP tonight?
And my MVP is Pharrell Hemphill. He had 2 catches tonight that were plays that should have or very easily could have anyways been interceptions and turned into touchdown. And then he also had the kickoff return that he took all the way back for a touchdown, and so he was my player of the game.
Yeah, had 200 all-purpose yards, 3 catches, 123 yards, and a touchdown, plus the 80-yard touchdown return on a kickoff. So Hemphill's a great choice for our Henderson Insurance MVP here tonight. That is going to do it for us here this evening. I want to say thanks to our sports team tonight. Joel Uvalli is back in the studios and keeping us on the air and kind of doing that are magical with a board back there. Also, big thanks to our new stat man, Josh Pratt, who is our sports team statistician and whatnot. Most of all, thanks to each and every one of our sponsors that have made this broadcast possible. I also want to say thanks to the guys that are providing the video production for us here this season as well. That is the Sport Picks USA guys, Kelvin Kelp's group. They've done wonderful things with video, and I can't even begin to describe all the cool things that he has done over there. But that's all I got for us here tonight. For Kenny Driska and Josh Pratt, I'm Brett Everhart saying so long from Yo Field. Tonight, again, our final Yeoman fall 54-41 and move to 1-1 on the 2020 season. This has been another exclusive sports presentation of KMIL 105.1 The Ranch. God bless and good night here from Cameron.